All right, welcome to another edition of Yo BS Sessions, man. We got the master of disaster, the MC, the Ed McMahon, or whatever he is, Jerry.
Master of disaster. That's a new one.
Haven't heard that one before.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not into wrestling. Come up with a better one. What can I say about you? Big sexy.
Whatever.
Big sexy doesn't rhyme as good.
Yeah.
It's better than being the master debater or something like that.
That's true. You got that right.
So what's going on, Jerry?
Oh, not much, man. Just long couple of days. Lost a good friend of mine. Lost a battle to cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
He's been sick for a while. It's amazing what a terrible disease it is. This guy was close to 300 pounds, man. He was like almost like 115, 117 when he died.
Oh, man.
Shit just fucking just eats you alive, man. It's a horrible, horrible disease. But to celebrate, and he had a great life. He had, his love. He had a great family, and so he can celebrate the good parts of it. But it's still sad when you lose somebody that you care about.
Yeah.
But other than that, besides that, I guess I'm doing okay. I guess nothing really overexciting in my life here in the sticks in Cookeville, Tennessee. Not much you can do.
Your video doesn't freeze on Zoom, but it freezes on Skype. That's just
weird.
I
don't know why it always does that. I have no idea why.
I've always had issues as well with Skype video as compared to other things. Skype's just weird.
Well, I use it because I got a good Skype recorder that takes all that compression out of it. So that's why we sound more raw and we don't sound like AI. Because I use a separate recorder called I forgot what it's called, a Malto recorder. You could also use it on Zoom, but I like using Skype. I'm used to it better. But man, what are we doing, Jerry? I picked it, so I get to talk about it this time, right?
Really?
All right. I thought we should do the 11 worst cover songs because I heard a song and I go, fuck this song. I bet there's more of these out there. So I go, we got to take the shit out of some fucking songs like we did on a recent episode of Freeform Rock Podcast. Well, I'm not going to tell you what the album is, but that'll be all four of us hated it. I never had that before. I was like, whoa, no hints, no spoilers, but just look forward to that episode.
I was going to say, I know I've been on some shows with you guys where I've hated the album, or Mark's hated the album, or Jerry's hated the album. I've never been on one where everyone hated the album.
Oh,
this was a pretty clean sweep, and it's an amazing guitar player. I'll give you. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. Amazing guitar player,
and it's not Yngwie. That album sucked. It's right there. And so we're doing our 11 worst cover songs, and you guys want to get into the BS?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Let's start off with let's think.
Mark, you didn't introduce us yet.
Oh, right. Go ahead, Jerry. You're supposed to introduce. That's my bad.
Okay, well, we have for the Blackspinner Circle podcast, a regular guest of ours, Andy Rodriguez. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Just happy to be here. I spent a week listening to bad songs. So
that's why I don't have any alsos. I couldn't do it anymore.
I don't want to hear any more bad music.
Yeah, I'm done.
My honorable mention is just one full album. It's just one album.
Saint Anger? Oh, well, that's a cover
not a cover album.
I know, but I'm just.
And then making his second appearance on our show, we had a great time the first time he was here. The great Bill Roseberry, man. What's going on, man?
Glad to be back, Jerry, Mark. Thanks for having me. Andy, Joesph, nice to meet you guys. Like I was saying, I've followed you guys online, seen you in other forums and on different things, and it's glad to finally meet you. I just want to say, doing this episode, Mark, be glad I like you, man, because this was terrible having to listen to this dog shit and think about this dog shit that I have written down here. So, I don't know. You're lucky I like you. It's really because I like Jerry. That's why I'm here.
That's the only reason.
I'm always the guy that gets shit on. I'm used to it. Just keep going.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It's just because I'm a Dodger fan. I get it. Go ahead.
That's right.
And then we got the guy wearing the shirt of the night. A good returning guest, man. Joesph Stuab. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on. And like everyone said, this one hurt me. This one hurt me. There's some songs we're gonna get into tonight that Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I hear you. No, yeah.
This is bad. So
And I've got a lot of them from bands we like.
Well,
me
I
as
got
well. Me as well.
I got one from one band I like, and
I have
an artist. Yeah,
I
that's
have an
about it.
interesting mix of bad cover songs from bands I like and bad cover songs of
Oh.
songs that I like from other
Oh
bands.
shit! I'm sorry, Joseph. I gave you shirt of the night, but I did not see what Bill was wearing.
Yeah.
Man. Fucking Mastodon fucking rolls, man.
What's
I didn't
wrong with
see that.
Armored Saint?
Oh, I didn't see.
Jeez.
I'll take Mastodon over
Just a
Armored Saint.
jukebox. Oh well, no.
Armored Saint kicks Mastodon.
They do. They're really
Yeah.
good.
John Bush.
I
like Mastodon.
Armored
but they-
Saint's awesome, but I would prefer Mastodon.
I
I've
would
seen them
prefer
both. I got an Armored
Mastodon
Saint shirt too. I haven't worn this shirt very much. I saw Mastodon and Gojira together a few months ago, so I figured I'd throw this one on. I haven't worn this but a couple of times, so I'm about to maybe go see Armored Saint again. Haven't got tickets yet, but Armored Saint and Queensryche are coming.
yeah.
Hey,
St.
that
Louis, I think
that version of Queensryche, fucking Todd rules. The band
Yeah.
sounds killer.
I-
There was a point when I saw them, because I saw them twice open up for Judas Priest. And there was times when I go, man, I look into my friend, he sounds too perfect. And all of a sudden he goes, ah. And I go, okay, it's live.
I did get Eagles tickets yesterday.
Oh shit.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
No
I've
Glenn
never
Fry,
seen-
no Eagle.
Which arm and leg did you give up for that?
Well, I mean, it cost about as much as my new car did, I think, to go see.
Ooh.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I figured it's worth it. They were
Oh,
on my
yeah.
bucket list. So
No Glenn
Gotcha.
Frey, no Eagles, man. But I love Joe Walsh and I love Don Henley.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would go see them.
Dude, I'll tell you what, Vince Gill fills in pretty good for him.
Pretty
man. I mean, he's
good.
no Glenn Fry, but he does a great job with them.
no, I'm shocked at how good he is. I used to, man, in the 90s, I just thought he was kind of a dork, you know. I mean, I like some 90s country, but I
Yeah.
thought he was terrible. And then I was watching a Crossroads Blues festival with
Mhm.
Eric Clapton, and Vince
Yep.
Gill's up there on stage with BB King and Buddy Guy and Clapton, and he's holding his own. And I was like, wow, I had no clue that he was that good of a musician.
Yeah. I went to that show that you're talking about. It was at Dallas.
Oh
at the
wow,
Cotton Bowl.
yeah,
It was like the Crossroads Blues Festival.
uh-huh.
And it was awesome, dude, because so many people played it. I saw Jeff Beck with ZZ Top on stage together,
Wow,
which was really cool. And saw Santana with Eric Clapton, both trading licks for about 30 minutes.
man.
And Joe Walsh was amazing. But you were talking about
Joe
Vince
Walsh
Gill.
rules.
Vince Gill came on like at 2, and Neil Sean played the national anthem.
Ooh.
Because it was like a guitar thing, so it was really cool. And dude, Vince Gill got up there with like nothing, dude, just picking away on
Yeah.
on, like different guitars on a banjo. He was just picking things like crazy. Dude was really good.
He's
I was very
talented,
surprised.
yeah.
Yeah, but his country songs never really showed that.
No,
Did-
not at all.
They showed a little bit of his guitar work, but not like he can actually do.
That's like John Mayer. John Mayer could rip, but
He's
I don't want to
excellent, yeah.
listen to him. Any of his
Excellent.
albums.
Excellent guitarist. I've seen him do stuff with Buddy Guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
he's
there
really
too.
talented.
He's with
Yeah,
Dead and
John Mayer.
Company, and then I don't like him that. Fuck the Grateful Dead.
Hey, and Vince Neil's married to Amy Grant, so he's lucky. He's pretty lucky.
Vince
Vince-
Gill.
Oh,
Vince
Vince
Gill's
Gill, I
married
mean,
to
yeah,
every.
Vince Gill is
okay.
the-
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Every December they do like a month-long
Mhm.
Christmas show here at the Ryman, Tennessee, Ryman Theater.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
every year.
Yeah.
Dude, that I want to go see a show there, dude. That's an old fucking church.
Oh,
turned
dude,
into the
Ryman-
Grand Ole Opry.
It's still one of the best sounding places I've ever been to, man.
God,
I would
better
love
than
to go see a show there. It looks
So-
so awesome inside.
the Ram Stadium SoFi is just horrible sound. I've seen 2 shows there. Metallica was good and Wolfgang ruled, but I saw the stadium tour there. Fucking the sound was just bouncing everywhere. It's not that good. Fucking they put millions of dollars in that fucking stadium and you got a shitty team and you can't make a good stadium. You barely won the Super Bowl because we dropped that interception. Fuck you, Rams.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck the Rams.
Fuck the Rams.
Second you on
Hey,
that.
what football
Being
team
a
do
St.
you
Louis guy.
What football team do you like, Bill?
Green Bay Packers.
I'm sorry.
I used to I still like the 49ers. I loved them when I was a kid, but when they got Jeff Garcia and Terrell Owens, I was like, those
Ooh,
two
I
guys
love those
are
two.
such pieces of shit.
You
I
didn't like
couldn't
that
like them
touchdown
anymore.
that Steve Young threw to Terrell Owens against the Packers? Beat him in the last second.
So, but I mean, when Favre came around when I was about 15, I was like, that was when I became Packers fan. We didn't have a team at that time here because the Cardinals had gone to Arizona, and then when I was 18, we got another team, and now they're in LA. So no football team here in St. Louis. I've lost two of them.
You guys will probably get a expansion team. You know, all these leagues are expanding big time. They want
the NFL was more than happy to screw St. Louis over.
Yep. Yep.
Did twice because I remember the Cardinals were there. That was awesome with Neil Lomax.
Yeah.
And then when they moved to Arizona, that was kind of shitty. And then y'all got the greatest turf on earth. And man, I'm pretty sure that city fell in love with that team.
I love that team, and I hate that team at the same time because I'm in the 49ers, man. That team was amazing. I love Kurt Warner's story, how he came because that guy they got from Kansas City got hurt in a preseason game, and he just came in.
It was Trent Green. Yeah,
Trent
they
Green,
got him from the. I
mean, he was literally bagging groceries that year. I think.
Kurt Warner,
I think. Yeah, amazing story. Yeah,
it's amazing. He can do no wrong around here. People absolutely love him.
Not just on the field, but he seems to be a great guy. You know, a guy of faith and family, and then he's great on commentary, and he calls the Monday night games on Westwood One. That I like to listen to him. He's really good at what he does.
I heard some. No, I actually go to the 49ers broadcast, but Jerry hates Greg Papa. I like Greg Papa, but
I'm a big fan of him.
I like him. I miss who was the guy before him? He was the best. Jerry.
Bleh.
That's a good guy. I can't. He was Joe Starkey. Was it Joe Starkey?
No. Maybe it's been so long since I heard a 49er broadcast, man. So I don't really know.
You don't know the guy.
He was there. He was there forever, and I can't remember. It might be Starkey.
I think it's Joe Starkey. Where did he go?
He might be right.
Retire? Because Greg Papa was the old Raiders announcer. He goes, Raiders.
He actually gets on my nerves.
Now he goes 49ers.
So interestingly, do you know who Nick Wagner is, Mark? That covers the 49ers for ESPN.
Yeah.
For the ESPN.com. He's from Edwardsville, from the town here where I live. I know him. I used to work with him some. He used to work for the Rams when they were in St. Louis, and he went to Edwardsville High School here.
I think you should like Purdy, man. He's just like Favre. He's a gambler. Did you see that touchdown on the back of the end zone?
I do like Purdy.
It is Joe.
It is version of the Niners.
Shanahan told him, he said, "Thanks for the touchdown, but don't do that pass again."
Dude,
damn.
That's part of it. You don't want to take that part of the game away from him either. You know, it works, 70% of the time, but he takes chances, man. He throws the long ball. The 49ers haven't had that in a long time, man.
Oh, every pass is over 10 yards.
Yeah, Garoppolo couldn't throw the ball with a shit pass.
He was 6. He was 6 yards, and Debo making all the plays.
Yeah, he trained under Tom Brady. What do you think?
Yeah. Right.
And fuck the Raiders. All right, let's get to some BS.
All right.
All right, let's get into. Everybody loves Sammy Hagar here, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I sure do.
No.
All right. Well, him, Michael Anthony, Jason Bonham, Joe Satriani announced the Best of All Worlds Tour 2024, which I want to go to. He's playing arenas, man. He's playing a forum. This is fucking awesome. And some dude said, Eric Arnsby Jordan, fuck off, dude. He doesn't need money. He doesn't need to use Van Halen to make fucking money, Eric. God dang it, dude. This guy's a fucking booze millionaire. And fucking he's trying to do a tribute to Eddie Van Halen. People fuck up, man. People say he said some terrible shit in his book, fucking threw Eddie under the bus, which is fucked up. And I agree. I read one of the few books I read because I wanted to see what he said on that shit. But I think it's cool they're doing that. But he also invited Daily Roth and Alex Van Halen to join him on stage during this tour. What do you think about that, Bill?
I don't know. I mean, I'm torn. I probably won't go see it. But
You're
I
in
don't have
St.
any
Louis.
problems with Sammy, huh?
You're in St. Louis.
Yeah, I mean, I would I never have seen Sammy, and I would go see him. I'd like to, but I don't know. I do think it's kind of an attention grab thing. I mean, after everything he'd said and through the years, and I don't pay attention to a lot of it. I'm not a fan of Van Hagar era Van Halen. I like about 2 songs. I do like Sammy Hagar solo stuff and Montrose. I like a lot of his solo material, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of what he did with Van Halen. To me, Van Halen is DLR, man. I mean, it's Diamond Dave is the man. So when I think of Van Halen, I think of Diamond Dave. So I mean, I'm never gonna get to see that. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. If you like it, if you want to go see it, that's your thing. That's cool. I don't care. I don't get caught up in all that. But yeah, I mean, it's not something that's gonna be on my list of things to go to.
Well, I've seen Sammy with Van Halen like 3 times. Saw Daily Roth with Van Halen with no Michael Anthony twice. Like I seen Daily Roth on the Skyscraper tour, which fucking ruled. God dang, that's one of the best concerts I ever seen was the Skyscraper tour with Steve Vai with him. Well, sadly, Billy Sheenan wasn't there, but Greg Biasente. Fucking, I know I'm saying his name wrong again, but
Greg Bissonette.
Yeah, I always say his name wrong. That's a joke now. But I don't think he's using a name to make money because the guy was in the band for 10 years. He likes playing these songs, man. He loves playing these songs. And Jason Bonham told him, I'm not going to do it unless you ask Alex first. And so, and Sammy says, well, Alex never returns my calls. I don't think he likes to play drums anymore. Probably going to piss Alex off. And I would be pissed off too, because he shouldn't be speaking for somebody else who isn't talking to him. So,
right. Yep.
What do you think about it, Joesph?
I mean, everyone kind of knows how I feel about Sammy Hagar in general. Not a fan, particularly the Van Hagar stuff. Really not a fan. Like Bill, there's a couple songs that I do like, and I have the CDs. I don't know why I ever bought them, but I did. But
Ian Wadley wants you to destroy them now.
Oh, where are they at? Crap. Let me get the hammer. I 100% think this is a cash grab. 100%.
He doesn't
because
need money, though.
He can say that, but otherwise he wouldn't be doing it. I don't think he wouldn't be promoting the Van Halen aspect of it so hard because he's done plenty of tours over the years, Chicken Foot, The Circle, whatever you want to say about it. I think,
and he did a lot of Van Halen songs in those tours.
But he didn't promote it that way. And that's the difference.
I think this is his tribute to Eddie because I truly believe that he loves Eddie Van Halen. I think they were brothers and they had a fallout.
And then I don't think he should be the person doing it. But yeah, I think that should be up to Alex and up to his Eddie's family. And if that's that. But
I think Wolfgang is cool with it. Wolfgang loves Sammy.
Wolfgang's doing his own thing, so I don't think Wolfgang particularly cares. Wolfgang's doing great on his own. So
I don't think it's a cash grab. I think it's more of a publicity grab.
Well, that's what that's what I mean. It's trying to keep his name in the headlines. But I think the worst part of it all is how bad it sounds because they played on this Howard Stern show and it sucked. It sucked bad.
I saw them with The Circle a year ago and it was great.
Look up this clip. They did Summer Nights on the Stern show and it sounded awful.
Probably didn't practice yet.
Well, then they need some practice bad.
Well, they got till 2024, so there you go. But I want to see it. Andy, what do you think about it?
Man, I can't wait to go see this show. I'm a big Sammy fan. I like his solo stuff. I like Montrose. I loved him in Van Halen. You know, when 5150 came out, I was in 6th grade. So, that grabbed my attention. They were on MTV and I gravitated towards it. And then, I went back to the David Lee Roth era. And the David Lee Roth era is better.
Yes.
But I do like the Sammy albums as well. I don't think this is a cash grab or a publicity stunt. The guy has been going on tour every summer for years. And I remember I saw him with David Lee Roth, like in
I wanted to see
2001.
that. It was at Universal Amphitheater. I missed it.
Where Roth opened and Sammy closed. So you got the best of both worlds. So, he's already done that. And I really think someone had to do something for Eddie because no one was doing anything. And yeah, it might be up to his family and up to Alex, but they're not doing anything. So, I think Sammy and him, that they might have argued and fought, but what band members don't that work so close together for 10 years? So, and sometimes, Sammy Hagar opens his mouth. Sometimes he says the wrong things. I understand that, but someone's got to do something for Eddie. And I am so on board with this. And I think it's going to be fantastic. And I can't wait to go.
Jerry.
Yeah, I think it's a total attention grab. He's been doing Van Halen songs, like you guys said, forever. I mean, and I don't. And why would he have Satriani on with him? He had a great guitar player, Vic, I think his name was something.
Yeah, Vic is okay. Vic is okay.
Dude,
he's not that good. I don't think he's as good.
I heard him. He can nail the Van Halen riff.
I've seen him live. He's good.
On the Howard Stern show, I don't know what the hell Satriani was playing on that Hot Summer Nights riff, but that wasn't even freaking close. They were talking about how Eddie recorded it some weird way, but I know how to play that opening riff, and it sounds almost like the original riff. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about there.
Just give him some time because Satriani is learning right now.
He's a great guy. I'm not saying that I am comparing myself to Satriani, not at all. But
I saw him on the Flying the Blue Dream tour. He ruled.
But I don't know. I don't understand the reason behind that. I thought his guitar player was perfect the way it was. I mean, I don't know.
Vic is okay.
I know Vic. Sammy's using this weird for the logo, kind of a weird, obtuse Van Halen type of design for the tour. If you looked at it, it's weird. Yeah, it kind of looks like the Van Halen logo. So to say it's not an attention grab is I think it's false. I think it's a huge attention grab. So
I don't think he.
But if you want to see it, go ahead, man. I mean, I'm not that fan of that era of Van Halen. I think Sammy's full of shit most of the time. But if you want to see it, have fun, man.
I will enjoy it and not for you.
Mark, here's what I'll conclude with. I don't think that anyone needs to do any sort of tribute to Eddie Van Halen. This right here is enough of a tribute to Eddie Van Halen. I don't think anything that anyone could do on stage, especially Sammy Hagar in 2024, could ever be a proper tribute to Eddie Van Halen.
Well, he's doing his Van Halen stuff, man. Just stop Michael Anthony from singing. Oh God. That's horrible.
He's a great background singer.
Yeah, he can't sing lead. He can't sing lead. Michael Anthony, you sound like a dead horse. But I don't know this band, Nitro. The singer Jim Gillette challenges Ricky Rocket to an MMA fight, bare knuckle fight, or jiu-jitsu match. You would think grown adults would have better things, but tough and current Nitro frontman Jim Gillette is now challenged Poison Drummer Ricky Rocket to an MMA.
Wait, he's in Tough too?
He was in Tough.
Okay. I've seen them live.
I don't know. Aaron Camaro likes them. I've never heard them, so I can't give an opinion on them. I should listen to him because Aaron Camaro likes a lot of shit I like. Oh God, I love you, Aaron. But you're just saying it's just weird. It's like because Gillette, Ricky Rocket said that Gillette was wrong in taking Lita Ford's kids away. So and now they're grown adults, and he was saying they're grown. His response was they're grown adults now.
Well,
they can do what they want.
I heard that Lita wasn't exactly Mother of the Year.
Probably not.
I heard that also. But what do you think about it, Joesph?
I could not care less about this. I mean, a band that I've never heard of versus the drummer of a band that I despise. I mean,
I love Poison, man.
More power to you, Mark.
Let's take it outside.
I'm sure. I'll say
sorry,
this.
I owe Rock and Metal Combat Podcast $5. There you go.
There's about one song that I like from the first couple Poison albums, and that's it. This is just somebody that no one's ever heard of trying to call out somebody who at least like 5 people have heard of. And that's of course, because Blabbermouth has nothing better to do because Corey Taylor didn't open his mouth that day.
Corey Taylor or Dave Grohl?
Yeah. Neither one of them decided to take a shit that morning, so I guess nothing was newsworthy.
Oh, Bill, what do you think of that?
Same thing Joesph just said. I mean, I didn't even know anything about this until you just brought it up. I don't know who the singer is, and I fucking hate Poison. I have since I was a kid. I hated all that stupid shit. So I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, you're not gonna cry tough, are you, Mark?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk dirty to me then, because I'm kind of sad.
But, it's okay, Mark. It's okay, Mark. Just ride the wind on out of here.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Andy?
Yeah, when I read the headline to what you sent us, I clicked on the story and I was like, "This, I
forgot to send Bill the fucking chat.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I didn't
Bill.
see, so I didn't know.
Sorry, Bill. My bad.
Yeah.
So, it's a story that I really didn't care about at all.
I'm just gonna put you in that group, that chat group, in case you see an episode we're doing. You can say, "I want in." All you guys, if you see an episode, that's why I leave you guys in the chat. I don't take you guys out. Just tell me you guys want in a certain episode. That's cool. I told Metal Mike that today too. But Jerry, man.
Hey, this match could be the opening act of the great Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg fight. It's supposed to happen.
So is Axel Vince Neil on second bout?
Yeah, right. There you go.
I actually like Nitro. I mean, Jim Schlesky, he's a good singer. But him and Lita Ford, they're very turmoiled life they had together. I heard both sides of the story, and I think Lita kind of makes herself out to look kind of bad as far as that's concerned. So that's probably the reason why he has custody of the kids. I don't know. I'm just going by what I've heard. And
did you hear she likes to fuck every rock star she sees?
I don't doubt that.
Hey, man,
I'm not gonna lie. Come on, when I saw
she said that, she said being a rock star is awesome. I get the fuck any man I wanted.
I mean,
there you go.
Come on, which man did not want to do Lita in the 80s? Come on, man. She was gorgeous.
I wanted to do Lita,
and she kept going back to Tony Iommi to let him beat her up for another couple times.
Oh my god!
But as far as fucking the Poison dude, fuck that guy. Poison sucks.
Ricky Rocket rules. Charles, man, you love Ricky Rocket.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, sure.
He loves Bobby Doll.
Mark, I know some of their families, and I hate Poison.
Ricky, you're in Pennsylvania.
They're from around here, and I hate
them.
Yeah, he runs into their parents. And, I know. Your
I'm just gonna tell you,
your son's a drummer of Poison, but
I'm just gonna tell you,
my aunt used to be neighbors with Bret Michaels' mom.
Really?
It's rock and roll, man. It's supposed to be fun. Poison is fun. No, you don't have to think about their lyrics, man. I wasn't
just think about them at all.
Rush's lyrics, but sometimes I don't want to think about.
It's not even the lyrics. It's not the lyrics. The music sucks.
I love CC DeVille. Even Charles admits CC is.
He's a good guitar player.
Yeah.
In Poison.
In Poison, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So then we get to we don't.
I enjoy them too, Mark.
I do too. I love Poison. They were the best thing on besides Def Leppard on the fucking stadium tour. I didn't care for Joan Jett, but I didn't care for Motley Crue either. It sounded like dead cats wailing on stage. But fuck. But I watched it because I never seen them, so I could say, "Hey, guess what? I saw Motley Crue." Yeah, and they sucked. All right, but then we get to Def Leppard, man. I think this is cool news, man. They unearthed material recorded for their debut album that the band had previously thought had been permanently lost. What do you think about that, Bill?
That's cool. I mean, off the debut album, I would check that out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that early Def Leppard stuff is great, and I mean, and I'm young enough to where my actual first Def Leppard album was Hysteria. So, I mean, I like that. Mike gets mad at me all the time for liking that album, but I
love that album.
I like Hysteria. And, but I mean, I don't pay attention to them anymore. It's not something that I really
put
go
on
back
a good
to
show
a whole lot, but that early stuff, I go to that more than I go to Hysteria now as I've gotten older. But yeah, I'd definitely be interested in checking out some of that material from that era, Def Leppard.
What about you, Joesph?
And just when you thought Def Leppard had found the last way to milk their early catalog, this will be what the third box set released of the first album.
The early years ruled.
Yeah, they released what, the collection volume 1, and then literally like a year later they released the early years box set, which had half the same stuff in it.
But it had all those live tracks, man.
Yeah, and that's exactly how they got you to buy it. So,
well, that shit rules.
And now they'll release this just with the promise of probably 2 extra songs that no one's ever heard before, and everyone will go out and buy the box set all over again. It's all about money. That's what it is.
If it's only 2 songs, I won't buy it. If it's like 7, I'll buy it.
I guarantee you, they've probably been sitting on this stuff for years. So,
yeah. What do you think about it, Andy?
Yeah, but they kind of been sitting on it for years, Joesph. They just unearthed it. They just found it.
That's what they say.
Dug it up.
Uh-huh. Hey, we buried this 10 years ago just to say we dug it up today.
Right. No, I was a fan of Def Leppard until Hysteria. After Hysteria, they fell off the earth.
Oh, I like the journalists.
No.
No.
But
I like X. I'm sorry.
Albums are really good. And their debut album, On Through the Night, is fantastic. So I would like to hear quite a few. If there's a lot of new stuff to hear, or at least something from that era, I would be interested in it. So yeah,
Hey Charles, I love Diamond Star Halos. You always call me out on it. I never deny it. Jerry, what do you think about it?
Yeah, that Diamond Star Halos was horrible.
I'll listen to it, man. Pete Willis and Steve Clark, man, were a formidable guitar duo, man. So I would definitely be interested in hearing some more of them, 2 playing guitar together again. So absolutely, I'll give it a listen.
I don't want to talk too much about it because we have an upcoming episode we're doing on the first album. So I agree with all of you, man. I want to hear it, but maybe if it's like 2 songs, that would kind of suck, Joesph. But if it's like 7 or 5, that'd be worth it.
All I know is if they put out another box set, hopefully Pete Willis gets paid. That's all I know.
They have been paying him. Pete Willis said thank you to Def Leppard for putting him songwriting credits on freaking Pyromania.
Yeah.
He
played on almost all the album.
He said they helped me survive. They paid me. Yeah.
Man deserved to be paid. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. But I don't think anybody cares about this shit. Metallica's been nominated for fucking the Special Ed Award Grammys. So you gave fucking Jethro Tull the fucking best metal album. What do you think about that, Bill?
So they've been given what? I'm sorry, I had.
They've been nominated for 2024 Grammy Awards. 3 categories: Best Rock Album, 72 Seasons; Best Rock Performance, Lex Eterna; and Best Metal Performance for the title track, 72 Seasons.
I mean, I am paid attention to the Grammys for years. I mean, good for Metallica. I mean, I don't hate this new album. It's not, obviously, I think it's a step down from Hardwired. I think it's a step down from Hardwired, but it's still better than anything they were doing in the 90s in my book. And I'll always love them. And I just saw them 2 weeks ago and they were amazing.
How were the songs off the album? Did you hear 72
even
Seasons
songs
live?
I didn't like sounded good live.
I bet the one song they played from fucking what's that album, Saint Anger, that sucks.
They didn't play any Saint Anger.
They played one Saint Anger song. I can't remember what it was, but they added a guitar solo and the drums didn't sound like trash cans. And me and Metal Mike have been arguing about that. I said it was awesome.
I don't know. They didn't play any Saint Anger in St. Louis, thank God. But,
I'm gonna look at your set.
I mean, they did play. They did go on night 2. They opened with Whiplash, then went into For Whom the Bell Tolls, then went into Ride the Lightning, and then followed it up with King Nothing. So it was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Like King Nothing.
But yeah, you get it, Joesph.
I like King Nothing, but that's an awful drop off.
Oh, you like that? I hate that song. I can't.
I love that
Hey,
song.
It's not one of my favorite songs.
It sounded great live. They did sound great. It's Enter Sandman #2.
It is.
And I don't like Enter Sandman, so which they closed with that after doing one which was the best performance of the 2 days. I mean, everything they did for one was amazing. And
Master of Puppets on the
with
first day was amazing.
Master of Puppets was great too. But
that was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, just about everything was great. I'm not complaining about the show at all. I love them. They're my favorite band. I wouldn't have gotten into metal if it wasn't for Metallica. I mean, I mean that they were my band. I mean, growing up, I was listening to them before the Black Album when I was a kid, and I've been there not from the start, but pretty close. And I love those guys. I'm glad. Hopefully they win. I mean, but the Grammys don't mean anything to me. And I'd tell you, really, where the Grammys jumped the shark was when Dave won a few years ago for Megadeth, and they played fucking Metallica as he was walking down to accept his rewards. That I was like, fuck the Grammys. How are they that disconnected to do something like that?
Well, they are the special ed of the music awards.
Yeah. Do what?
Special ed. There's special ed. There's a special education. They don't know shit. They think they do, but they don't. Them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, man.
Correct.
But like I said on a post today, I said, you know what? You know what's cool about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? You could see bands reunite, and it was awesome. You could see the show, but what bands reunited this year?
None.
Nobody.
That's because they didn't induct any bands.
They did it, right?
I don't even know who went in.
Rage
went in, but they didn't play.
It's because Tom Morello was the only one that showed up.
Because he's a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah.
The rest of them hate it. Tom Morello is a freaking kiss ass for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's inducted like 5 different bands into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, he got Deep Purple in though, man.
Yeah. I love Tom Morello, but he's a little too up on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, he's a voter, so he had to show up. But those other people didn't, man. What do you think about it, Joesph?
Well, I mean, Metallica's guaranteed to win at least one of them. Like, ever since the whole Jethro Tull incident, the Grammys have kissed Metallica's ass ever since. Basically, every year they get a Grammy for something, whether they actually released an album or not. They put out, 1999, I think they got a Grammy for one of the songs off Reload that came out 2 years earlier and wasn't even a single. I think they got a Grammy in 1999 for Better Than You.
Ooh.
That wasn't even a single. The Grammys were just that far up on Metallica.
I can't there's a episode coming up on that. I can't.
The backlash for the Jethro Tull thing was so bad that the Grammys are basically just they've been throwing awards at Metallica for the last 30 years. And I mean, Metallica deserves every award. They're one of my favorite bands. Metallica is probably the only band that I have ever or will ever buy 5 different multi-$100 vinyl box sets from. So, I mean, I love Metallica. So
I only bought one. I bought Moving Pictures. Rush.
I bought all of the Metallica ones from Ride the Lightning the whole way through the Black Album.
Dude, I don't have that much money. I bought.
Most of them were Christmas presents, thankfully.
Nice.
Yeah.
But Jerry, what do you think about that? Oh no, Andy. Let's go to Andy first.
Okay.
I'm putting you last on this episode, Jerry.
When I was a kid, my family and we used to sit around and watch the Grammy Awards and the American Music Awards, and it was a great time. But I'm so over them that I don't even pay attention anymore. But I did see this Metallica nomination. But at this point, the Grammys it's a popularity vote now. It's not for the actual craft of the music anymore. So, I hope that Metallica wins because I love Metallica. I'm a big fan of theirs, and I mean, those are big honors. Rock Album of the Year, Rock Song of the Year. So hopefully they pull one of them out. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do, because they should, and they will because of the popularity thing. And that's the way the Grammys are now.
Yeah, I think they've always been that way. Milli Vanilli. Oh my God. But let's get to the episode, Jerry. What are we doing, man?
How do I feel about the Grammy Awards from Metallica?
Oh, how do you feel? Yeah, you go last. Go ahead.
I make this short and sweet. I just don't give a shit. I mean, they throw a little piece of crumb every year to the metal community. Yeah. I mean, what was it last year? Ozzy, won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the thing is, they don't televise that anymore.
No.
And they probably won't do that with Metallica either. So
well, that's why they put them in the rock category.
They're trying to stay kind of, try to stay relevant in that area, I guess.
No, because if they're in the rock categories, the rock category is broadcast. The metal isn't, so they can get Metallica to play.
That's the funny thing. The metal category always is never broadcast, and it always goes to the biggest name artist they can find. Right. The rock category is always broadcast, and it always goes to some indie person that no one's ever heard of. I know a couple of years ago, everyone was like, when St. Vincent won it, and I've seen St. Vincent live. She's really good. She's a really good guitar player. I saw her live a couple months ago, but she won the best rock performance Grammy, and everyone was like, "Who?"
Yeah, I mean, U.S. It's just not rock. It's just not the it's way down as far as what people like nowadays. It's
I've been saying that the U.S.
pop music
and done for me lately.
Pop music and country music are the bigger things in the U.S. now, unfortunately.
There's no loyalty in America no more for bands.
So you're gonna hear Lizzo's and Olivia Rodrigo's and all those. That's all you're gonna Taylor Swift. That's all you're gonna hear.
She's like so fucking. Olivia Rodrigo so auto-tuned. It's like what the fuck
they all are.
They all are.
I don't understand.
I don't mind a little auto-tune, but some of it, like these pop singers, are just
if you use it as an effect, T-Pain could actually sing. And that guy gets the bullshit of using auto-tune first when it's actually Cher with Believe.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I got
far between. Now it's every song that's like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because everything's produced by it's like it just seems like everything's produced by one producer.
Andrew Watt.
No.
I was watching Saturday Night Live a couple weeks ago. They had I can't remember her name right now, but she's kind of big right now. Spice.
Oh, Ice Spice. Horrible.
Those songs were just horrible. They had no feeling through it, and people. I just don't understand why people like this stuff. It's soulless, man.
It's this generation. Songs pop up on TikTok. They'll listen to them for about 3 days, and then they're on to the next thing.
Yeah. I guess I'm sounding like my parents now, saying I cannot get into you youngins' music, but it's horrible.
There's a lot of great new rock and metal.
There is absolutely
a lot of great out there.
Jerry,
I don't like Night Demon, but man, I'll give you that. They are bringing metal.
I work. I'm a trainer now for a warehousing company. Well, back when I worked on the floor out there, they'd play music all the time, and there's a lot of younger people in there, obviously, and they'd. Like back during the pandemic, they're playing all the new hip hop and all the stuff. And I'm like, this is terrible. And I go, and I tell the young guys, I'd be talking to them. I'm like, look, I don't feel like I'm like my parents, because I get it. When I'm a kid and my dad hears, when I'm 10 and he comes in and he hears me listening to Run DMC or he hears me listen to Metallica, it's pretty abrasive and way different from what he grew up with. Mm-hmm. But by the time I'm in high school, I'm listening to Pantera and Tupac. And you're going to tell me that the shit that I'm listening to, that these kids were listening to now, it's gone backwards. Like the stuff I was listening to is more abrasive than the stuff that the kids are listening to today. It doesn't have any complexity to it. A lot of that, the mainstream stuff. And that's what kind of bothers me.
It's also everything has to be like bland. Everything has to be beige colored. There's no like you said, abrasiveness, or there's nothing that can be like against the grain about any of this. It all has to be like, I mean, people always put that picture of like watching paint dry. That's what most music is today. It's watching paint, no matter what genre it is. Modern music is watching paint dry. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's like somebody hitting a little drum pad thing, beep 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 beep, and auto-tuned vocals. That's all you hear, man.
Casio keyboard, that cymbal sound on there. Mm-hmm. They just hit the cymbal sound and go, and then auto-tune their voice over it. And I mean, it's not all like I think it's gotten a little bit away from that than what it was 3 or 4 years ago. It was really bad a few years ago. Yeah, and I don't notice it as bad now, but there's still not as much originality or uniqueness coming out, I think, as what we had
in any genre, I'd
right
say.
yeah
Yeah, but especially hip hop because it's so big now. Back in the 80s and 90s, that music said something. It stood for something. Um, the people who did it have had character,
Mhm.
and you believed in it. Today, it's just so, like y'all said, bland,
Some of that,
faceless,
some of that
with
stuff
no,
was urban poetry,
Yeah.
Andy. I mean, that's what it was back in the day. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. And
And
now it
they said
doesn't say
something. Now they
anything.
don't say
I,
shit.
I
It's just ridiculous.
I said this to one of my friends not long ago. I think it's true. Almost every genre of music in the last 5 years has become the stereotype of what people made fun of it for years ago. Pop music has become stereotypical. Country music has all become me and my truck and my girl and my beer and my this and that. That's all country music now. Hip hop has all become that stereotypical money and bitches and all this, like that's
Yeah.
and it sucks because those genres, every genre, I think I you can not be a fan of certain genres. I think every genre of music has something to say.
Oh yeah.
And I think
Mhm.
every genre of music has a voice. And it sucks that in almost every genre, rock included to a lot of points, that voice has become just glossed over and it's become commercialized. It's become more, it's become kind of whitewashed almost. You take the soul out of these genres of music. You take what these people are trying to say. You take, especially since a lot of these genres come from very specific communities, and these communities have the genre has almost been taken away from those communities
Hmm.
and just made all the same.
Yeah, because you're talking about music coming from communities in the 80s and 90s. We knew exactly where these rap guys were coming
Mhm.
from. We
Mhm.
knew what they represented. We
Mhm.
knew who lived in Queens. We knew who was in Compton. We knew
Yeah.
who was in Oakland. We knew it.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
Easy motherfucking E is getting a street named after him in Compton.
yeah, yes, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
But now you don't know anything about these people.
No.
Just and
Nope.
and that's in almost in every genre.
The only
Like
new rapper I know is Kendrick Lamar, and I think he sucks.
He's not even that new, Mark.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say
he's
he's
been
been
around.
around.
Well,
He's been
that's
around
He's
the
been
for a
around
only
while.
new
for
Around for a
because
long
I don't.
time.
for
There's
probably
no
10,
there's
15
no
years.
person.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
so no personality in this new hip hop shit, except for Scribble, man. Scribble, he loves this show. Fucking
Scribble
Scribble's
rules.
got some fucking shit.
Well,
And
there's
his
there's like any genre, there's some great underground stuff.
underground
There's
rap
always
is
some
where
Underground
great
it's
stuff
at
is
right
underground
now.
alive
stuff.
in every
Yeah.
genre. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the problem is on the mainstream level, it's been
Yeah,
so
that's what we're talking about.
like commercialized and
Let's
like
go.
Andy said, you back no matter what genre it was, you knew where these people come from. You knew it was Bay Area thrash or
Yeah.
like you knew the bands coming out of Seattle. You knew
Too
the
Short was
rappers
from
coming out of
Oakland, right?
you knew the
LA
rappers coming out of
scene.
Compton, or you knew the East Coast rappers.
Right.
Biggie and
knew,
stuff like that.
they
Yeah.
so many of them had
Yeah.
they were representatives of their area or like different. If you look at country music, you look at Deep South country versus Nashville country versus
Oh yeah.
other parts of the like Southern rock. You got that Florida, that the swamp music influence, and you kind of really you knew where so many of these different this music was coming from. Every area of St. Louis had this great the Delta. I mean, the Delta blues coming out of Mississippi and all these different places. Everyone, it was associated with a specific area and a specific group of people, and now it's just been everything's just been whitewashed.
Would you think that Creedence Clearwater Revival was from San Francisco? They sounded like they were from Louisiana.
Right.
That
Yeah, I mean,
is an
there's
exception right
always
there.
There's always an exception.
there's always exception, but you look you think Kiss, you immediately think New York, you think the streets of New
Yeah.
York. You look at Black Sabbath, you think Birmingham, England, you think like
Rat, you think of
the
LA.
Milltown, you think of you think of the Strip, you think of Rat
the
and
Crew,
Motley
Dokken.
Crue and Guns N' Roses, you think of the Strip, and it's like you don't have that
Poison.
anymore. Everything Poison was from freaking middle of Pennsylvania.
They
Mark.
they
Leave it
made
alone.
it in the strip.
Leave it alone.
They made it in the strip.
They are from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Leave it
but they
alone.
made it. They came to Hollywood and got their contract with Enigma
Uh-huh.
Records. There you go.
Yes, they did. But now you can throw 10 different artists out and nobody can tell you where they're from, what they sound like. They just sound like music.
Or names, or the names of the musicians in the bands.
Exactly.
Remember our bands? We knew everybody. We knew
we need the producer, the mixer.
You knew who the bass player was, and nobody knows who the bass player is.
That's a great part about physical media, because we all used to read that shit. We learned who the band members were. We learned who produced
true.
it.
I knew who Geddy Lee was.
People nowadays are just they're streaming. They're going by streaming, so they don't know what the hell is the background of the music.
In the 60s. In the
Mm.
60s, every single person on planet Earth knew who John, Paul, George, and Ringo were.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
you got those. I don't have the money right now, motherfucker.
You look 60 years later, it's just a blank face behind a keyboard.
Yeah, you guys need to listen to our review of the Red and Blue album on Freeform Rock Podcast. That's up right now. We even got a YouTube version of it. But one last story, because I always say we don't get enough Rush news in here. And Geddy Lee is making some news. He's doing a book tour, My Elfin Life, which is pretty fucking cool. He had Paul Rudd up there with him, asking him questions, which is fucking cool for My Love You Man. You know, that film was a Rush fest.
I think they said it was going to be a different celebrity in every town.
Yeah, but that was cool that they had Paul Rudd start it.
Yeah.
You know,
and I mean,
maybe they'll get Jason Segel in the next one.
I was going to say, when they go anywhere near Denver, it's going to be Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be
But the thing is, he said some fucking controversial shit to Rush fans this week. He said, maybe me and Alex will use the Russian name, maybe not, but we will make music together. I don't think that they will make music as Rush. I think they will maybe do a tribute to Rush. They will say tribute, not like Pantera doesn't. But Pantera starting to use the tribute, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, you look at where's my t-shirt I got? Where's it at? You look at the back of those t-shirts. It's the first thing on those t-shirts is for the brothers. So
yeah,
I
they're
think,
not doing anything as Pantera. There's a tribute, and I think Alex and Geddy are smart enough to do the same thing. I mean, they're not going to tarnish that.
Yeah, I just think that they will do something, and I want them to do something because that Ivy and Nunn and the fucking Victor shit, Alex. No, Geddy Lee beat you with My Favorite Headache. God dang, that's horrible shit, dude. You need Geddy and get Mike Portnoy to come in with you.
It's not going to be Mike Portnoy. He's too busy with Dream Theater now.
Well, he could do 2 bands. He's done 4.
They'll probably get Mangini since he's out of a job now.
Oh, poor Mangini. But that's just my opinion. I would love to see them go on tour as a tribute to Rush because I love those motherfuckers. Like I listened to 3 Rush albums today. I listened to Power Windows, I listened to Hemispheres, and I listened to Moving Pictures. And I'm just going,
nice, 2 out of 3.
I'm listening. Oh, shut up. Power Windows rules. I know that's the album. Yeah. Listen to those riffs that Alex is doing on that album, those drum fills that Neil is doing on Power Windows. Fucking great lyrics, great album. You guys just need, it's fucking harder than you think it is. But Eric Arnsby Jordan, I love you because you love that album. But fuck, I'm just listening to those albums today. I'm saying, fucking Alex is so underrated. God dang, listen to La Villa Strange Auto.
No, please, I need to stay awake.
Wow. Oh, one of the greatest songs.
You like Pink Floyd? They're slower than Rush.
There's a difference, though. There's a difference in the way the song is felt, in my opinion, between Pink Floyd and. I like Rush. I like Rush, but there's some songs of Rush that just, I don't know, are just soulless to me. I'm sorry. They just are, and I like Rush. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, their worst album is fucking Yes for Echo, but I like majority of the songs, so it's not bad.
That's a great album.
I love the album, but compared to all the other ones, I love Roll the Bones, Hold Your Fire,
Mark,
Grace Under Pressure.
I know Geddy said something that probably pissed you off. He said that there are Rush albums that he hates.
I know, I didn't like that.
He did say that there are Rush albums that
I didn't want to know what albums he.
And I guarantee you, Hold Your Fire is probably one of them.
Well, I know they hate Ty Shan.
They hate that most of that album, I think.
I love that album. Show of
They
Hands,
probably hate
man.
Power Windows too.
No, they like Power Windows.
Some of it.
Grace Under Pressure is a fucking genius.
I do. That's a great album. That's a great album.
Rush. I mean, if Rush does decide to go as Rush nerds will be like, "Oh man, that sucks. I'm never going to see it." But a week later, you're going to be standing in line buying tickets for it. That's the way Rush fans are. So just like Pantera, same thing.
Dude, I'd be first in line to buy that.
I mean, everybody when Pantera was getting back, oh, never going to go see that. Blah, blah, blah. They're all waiting in line for tickets.
I was never like that, Jerry. I was like, I was perfectly fine with it as long as they did it as a tribute, and the way they did it, I thought was classy. And I saw them live, and it was very classy. They even did
it was great,
complete thing to a complete tribute to Dime and Vinny, and played Cemetery Gates.
Yeah.
Over Phil didn't try and sing it, which
was I did love that they left that one for
when it was first announced, man, when it was first announced that Pantera was doing this, a lot of people
were pissed, and I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I never got to see Pantera myself.
I finally got to see fucking Zakk Wylde.
Yeah, it also depends on what Neil Peart said before he died too. I mean, if Neil said go ahead and go do shit without me, that matters. That matters a lot too. To their decisions, I'm sure. But
don't make me cry.
I can see them doing one-off shows, but not a tour. And that's what I think.
See, I agree because I don't think it was just Neil that was kind of done touring. I think they were all three of them were kind of done.
No. You need to watch that new YouTube interview with Geddy talking about his book. He said, "I didn't want to stop. I wanted to keep going." Geddy wanted to keep going, and Neil said, "Well, Clockwork Angels is our best album." And he goes, "How do you know that? We could make another one that's even better." Geddy didn't want to stop.
I feel like he was probably the only one. I think Alex was kind of getting
Alex because his fingers,
his hand,
his hand, But Geddy, just get Matt Cameron and Robert Trio on bass, make another solo album.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes if it happens at all.
What do you think about it, Andy?
I like Rush. They got good music. I guess I'm not that big of a fan where it'll sway me one way or the other. So it's whatever they choose to do. Remember they are the two original members.
That is true,
right?
Yeah. Neil was on the second album. It's just the first Rush album.
I know, which
Fly By Night.
Which makes them the original members.
Yeah.
So, really the decision is theirs.
That's true.
I mean, they are the ones that say which way Rush goes.
Yeah. I heard that Geddy Lee releases 2 songs on his audiobook, and people are saying those 2 solo songs that he did on the audiobook is amazing. Why aren't those on iTunes right now? Because that metalstation.com, my last show will be December 26th. And I want those 2 fucking Geddy Lee songs from my last show. Because I always start with Rush on my show. That metalstation.com, Metal Mike Tyler. Thank you for bringing me on there. You fucking rule. Gotta give you some love, brother. You don't know how much I love you and Bushy and Bill. I love you 3 like your brothers. I love all you guys. I love Jerry.
I will continue wearing my That Metal Station shirt as long as it holds up, man.
Yeah, I gotta give that station a shout out. I will never go to another station. This is it. I'm done. I love doing my shit. But the thing is, I'm going with the shit. I'm going down with it. I'm done.
I love That Metal Station. I remember I've been around since That Metal Station's auto DJ was a bunch of death metal bands that nobody ever heard of back in 2014 that everyone yelled at Scott Green for not putting actual music on the auto DJ.
Yep. I remember those days too.
Hey, I listen to many Dr. Fuck shows.
Every time somebody's show would go cut out and their internet would cut out, all of a sudden you just hear some random death metal start playing.
Yeah.
Because their internet was cut out.
Yeah. There's some good shit. There's some good shit played in those when there's no from the automatic thing.
Oh yeah.
Good shit
now it
play,
is.
Man.
Now
back then it was not.
But not
back then it was not.
It was
back then it was literally
death metal. Yeah.
You'd hear Ralph or Ian or Mike or somebody talking, and then all of a sudden, just the worst death metal you've ever heard in your life.
Man, I love the Metal Mike show. I like getting into the chat room when I can. Bill is fucking always fucking with me about the Dodgers. I get it. You're jealous. It's okay.
Jealous. Yeah. I have anything to be jealous about.
But
actually, I think St. Louis has more World Series wins than the Dodgers.
yeah, but the Dodgers have been to
Major
more
League
World
Baseball
Series.
more is the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
And how much bigger is New York than St. Louis?
The Dodgers have been to more World Series than any team. That's why they're the bums. They don't win them. They win 7. You know, they should have won more.
And then I'm an Orioles fan, so just feel bad for me. But
Well, you're
not this year, but
you're on a nice trajectory.
We're on a nice trajectory.
Yeah, you really.
Yeah, hoping my Reds. Sorry, Bill. I know
Reds
you're probably not a big Reds fan, being a Cardinals fan, but yeah, the Reds are definitely looking like there's some hope in the future. So
yeah, I'm not a big Reds fan. I hate Brandon Phillips. Yeah,
that fight was great, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Molina was kind.
Lucky Yachty didn't just beat his ass.
But Brandon Phillips has always been like that.
You're fucking rookie, dude. First game, what, he hit 3 home runs against the Dodgers?
Who?
That rookie guy they brought up.
De La Cruz?
Yeah.
He's tough.
Didn't he hit one almost out of the fucking park on the
Dodgers? He had a home run his first game, but didn't have 3. He had like 3 hits.
He had 2. No, but he killed the Dodgers. He stole like 3 bases.
Yeah.
I go, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, 5 years, they're going to make him a great player. Then 5 years later, he's going to be a Dodger or a Yankee or a fucking Cardinal. The teams that got the money, you know?
You know, George
Small market teams are fucked.
George Steinbrenner said yesterday, before he died, he said, I'm paying this luxury tax for these fucking cheap teams not to use the money and pocket it. So they could build teams. They're just pocketing the money they get from the rich teams, paying them money, like the Dodgers, Yankees, teams like that paid the money.
Not all of them.
I think baseball, they're never going to have a salary cap, but they should at least have a basement where a team has to spend a certain amount to compete.
Well,
you know what I mean?
If you go over the luxury tax, like 3 years in a row, you got to pay triple.
Yeah, luxury tax ain't shit to these teams, man.
Well, the Dodgers went under last year, so they
doesn't matter. That's piddly
so
shit.
They could get Ohtani, and I don't want Ohtani. I want them to use it on getting some pitching, I think Altman's going to be great next year. After 1 year, he was almost rookie of the year, but nobody's going to beat Carroll. Carroll's just amazing. So,
all right.
I was going to say, how do we get into this again?
We're a sports show, but let's get on to the thing too. Jerry, what are we doing?
You mentioned you came up with the show. You tell me what we're doing.
Oh, well, I like to.
It's your show, man.
I don't care. You know.
Fine, I'll do it. We're doing what we
think
are. We're going to do our list of what we think are horrible covers, and there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
I wrote down a bunch of them really quick offhand, and I'm surprised how many horrible ones that I've memorized. But then I dug deep, and there were some even worse ones out there. So this is going to be interesting list. It's going to be fun, though. You know?
Yep.
So this is going to be good.
All right. So we start with the number 11, Bill.
All right, so way I did, I have a lot of honorable mentions. We'll talk about it at the end, I guess.
I couldn't do that.
Huh?
I couldn't do that. I didn't want to listen anymore. I was done at 11.
So but what I decided to do, because some of the stuff that I listened to for this, I didn't even really know before I came into this. So I tried to keep it to 11 that, you know, I've known through the years and just not a big fan of. And the first 2 I could probably leave off because of some of the honorable mentions I had, but they're 2 of my favorite bands and the worst covers that they did, and that's why I want to do it. So my number 11 is Turn the Page by Metallica.
Ooh, I like that one.
I like that one.
I like that one.
I have loved so many Metallica covers, but when I heard that, I was like, what the fuck? I hate James' vocals on it. I just don't think it fits them. I mean, they have made so many phenomenal covers through the years, from Stone Cold Crazy to all the stuff they did from Budgie to the stuff they did even from
Budgie rules.
Misfits. And because I don't like the Misfits, I hate Danzig, but man, I love listening to Last Caress and
that version is way better
by Metallica. And you know, there's so much great stuff they did, but Turn the Page, which is probably one that most people know, is not good to my ears.
That and Whiskey in the Jar are two of
Oh,
those
I
more
like the
popular
whiskey in the
ones.
jar too.
I like Whiskey in the Jar.
So do
They
I.
played that live actually when I
Yeah,
saw them here.
they did.
Oh, wow.
They play that live a lot.
Yeah, I
But,
like it.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
like what, but that turn the page. You're absolutely right.
Mm.
It takes all the soul out of it, big time.
Yeah. Bob Seger is a very soulful,
Yep.
soulful individual, soulful
He's telling
musician,
a
and
story.
especially the older I get, the more I resonate with Bob Seger. I mean, sometimes I listen to those songs and I get depressed now. I'll start kind of tearing up
Even-
because it's like, I
Really?
just hear stuff and I'm like, man, now that I'm in my 40s, it
He's
means
right.
so much different meaning to the lyrics than it did when I was in my 20s and a teenager. Yeah,
Even the
I just get it
pop
now.
stuff like from Beverly Hills Cop 2, Shakedown, Breakdown.
Well, not
Still
that
good.
song.
I like that
No.
song.
That song
No.
doesn't have a soul, Mark.
70s Bob Seger or nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, 70s Bob
Seger.
Seger is great. I like the 80s. I like a Rock. That's a good
Come on,
album.
1980 Against the Wind.
Well,
That
I
was
count that as
awesome.
I count that as 70s. I
Okay,
count that as
fair enough.
70s.
Right.
Fair enough.
All right, Joseph, what's your number 11?
Alrighty, so kind of like Bill, my list gets progressively more soul crushing as we go along here. So my number 11 is one that it's not something that particularly makes me angry or anything. I just hate this cover, and I hate that it became such a hit for them. The fact that they still it's on the radio nonstop, and that is "Smoking in the Boys' Room" by Motley Crue.
Oh, I like that
What
song.
a awful cover.
I love
Yeah.
And
that
the fact
song.
that became such a huge hit for them,
Great
it's
video.
just so bad.
It was
It's
the
so
video. It
bad.
was the video that brainwashed me. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, it was one of their worst videos too. So
I love that video with the guy with the ears from Weird Science. I love that
it was
dude.
so bad, and the
Fields Have
song's
Eyes.
just awful. The song is just so bad.
Not
and
that big of a fan of the original song.
no, it's not a good song. It's not a well written
Yeah.
song at all. And the fact that Motley Crue, that was what, and I mean, it definitely it should have been a clear sign for the future, because that was the path they were heading down, and it was definitely a roadmap for where they were headed. And I think it's an awful cover song. And I could have picked another song, but I think some other band did it even worse. And we'll get to that in a couple picks for me.
Well, man, that's a good turd there, Joseph. I should have put that on my list.
Oh, I
Turd of a
love that
song.
song. Oh,
I like that version too.
I do
I like
too.
that version.
So, Andy, what's your number 11?
Yeah, my number 11 is by an artist that I absolutely love. He's one of my favorites in everything he's done, from his band to solo. And he makes a cover of a song that I love so much by my favorite band of all time. I'm talking about Ozzy doing "In My Life."
Oh, that's a good one.
I forgot about that. I
Me
forgot that
too.
Ozzy put out a covers album.
Oh yeah, with Miss Piggy. How can you forget that?
How
And the
about Kelly
version-
Osbourne doing
awful
Changes?
version of Changes with Kelly.
Kelly.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot
That's-
about that one too.
Yeah,
That
I
is
forgot all
terrible.
about that.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, that is
The
awful.
only
Good
one
pick.
Mississippi Queen was really good on there, though. He did a good job on Mississippi Queen, but the reading of "In My Life" is just. I understand he loves the Beatles and they were a big inspiration for him. That's great, but man, it was just a horrible job by him.
If I've learned one thing over the years, don't cover a Beatles song unless you're either going to be really good at it
Aerosmith.
or do it different. Aerosmith's
Yeah.
version of "Come Together" is not even that good.
Oh,
I like
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
down. Come together. I love both versions.
But there's a lot more bad Beatles covers than there are good
Sure.
Beatles
Oh
covers.
yeah, I
Sure.
agree.
Oh yeah, big time.
I think I have one on my list.
In fact, we just did the top 10 Beatle cover songs with Metal Mike and Kate and Al. Man, that was a good time. That was a really good time.
All right, so I'll go next. I'll let you go, Jerry. I'm gonna take out bands I like and bands I always hated just to piss. I just hate this band. I hate Maroon 5.
Yeah.
And why the fuck are they covering Three Little Birds by Bob Marley?
Never knew they did.
Yeah,
The
you
whitest
don't
band
want
of all
to.
time. The whitest band of all time covering Bob Marley.
Three Little Birds.
Oh,
Adam
boy.
Levine or whatever his name is fucking
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
douchebag. Really douchebag. Fucking huge douchebag. But fucking Three Little Birds by Maroon 5. Fuck that band. He says rock is dead and he thinks he's a rock band. Fuck off, dude. Fuck off. Jerry, what's your number 11?
Okay, my number 11. Okay. I'm a huge Elton John fan. Love the guy. I think he's one of the best songwriter or musician, songwriter, whatever, in the history of music. But when Nickelback covers your song, and then just make it suck even worse, throw in Kid Rock as well. Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. You've ever heard that version?
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's on my list.
Absolute dog shit. There's a guitar player. I can't remember who the guitar player is on that song. I can't remember, but
well, you must have sucked.
It's Dime.
It
is
Dime. It is Dime.
Right.
It is Dime. You're right. And I'm sorry, dude, but he cannot save it. It is a horrible, horrible, horrible cover. So, I mean, like I said, Elton John's hard to cover in the first place, but man, they didn't even come close to doing him justice on that one. It's terrible. So that's my number 11.
You want a good Elton John cover? Listen to "Funeral for a Friend" by Dream Theater. That's a good cover.
Yes. God, I gotta play more Dream Theater by the time that Metal Station go. I haven't played that much Dream Theater. I'm just gonna fucking blow my load on the last
you play
5
one
shows.
song, take up half your show.
Right. There you go.
I'm gonna play Octavarium,
Yeah, right.
dude. I'm gonna play that fucking whole Octavarium song.
Go all the way. Play 6 Degrees. Play the whole 42-minute track.
Play that in 2112. There's your show.
That might no 2112 is only like 20 minutes.
Well, you play 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence in 2112.
I do a 5-hour show, dude.
Well, there's a fifth of your show gone.
Yeah.
And then throw on the live version of Dazed and Confused. Man, you got a show. Right
I did
there.
that.
Oh, yeah.
I played that live version. You picked it.
Play the entirety of Tales from Topographic Oceans by Yes.
I played 30-minute. I played that Dazed and Confused on my show. I play long songs. I don't give a fuck. You know, people are gonna hear that shit. It fucking rules. I like that shit, and I will play it. But we get to your number 10, Bill.
All right, I told you these first 2 bands are a couple of my favorites, but songs that I do not like by them. So another one of my favorite bands, Megadeth, covering "These Boots" by Nancy Sinatra.
Oh, that's horrible.
And as much as I love Metallica doing covers, Megadeth doing covers is not very good. They haven't done very many.
No More Mr. Nice Guy was good.
That wasn't even that great.
It's
That
okay.
wasn't even that great.
It was good. It was passable.
I actually like their cover of Paranoid is pretty good.
Yeah.
Their Anarchy in the USA was pretty good too.
I like that too. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad. It's for them. I don't know. They just as great as they are musicianship wise. They're not very good at covers. But man, I don't get "These Boots" by Nancy Sinatra and listening to Dave sing that. Oh, I haven't been able to stand that since I was a kid. Yeah.
Agreed. But we get to you, Joesph, number 10.
Alrighty. So my little preface to this, I'm going to kind of talk about the phenomenon of cover albums and why it just sucks so bad. It's been really within the past in the past 20 years, it's blown up really bad. Where like if a band has nothing better to do with their record contract, they'll put out a covers album. If they need to space time between new albums,
that was actually happening in the 80s too, dude.
Oh, I know, but it's
going
really,
on for years. Yeah,
but it's really blown up in the past 20 years. You've had Def Leppard did it, Ace Frehley did it twice, Deep Purple did it, Saxon did it. All these bands are doing covers.
I like those albums though.
No,
I like Ace Frehley.
But none of those are like wholly bad albums. Like there's
Fire and Water with him and Paul Stanley.
There's some good stuff in there. There's some good stuff in there, but there's a band that until I was researching this, I had no idea ever put out a covers album. Ooh. And whoever made up this track list is the most tone deaf person in human history. To think that in 1995, Duran Duran should be covering 911 is no joke.
Oh my God.
Yes. That's on my honorable mentions, Joesph, because I didn't even know that existed until I started doing this list.
Who in God's name?
Oh, what a...
I can't say this. I can't talk about it yet.
Oh,
But
man.
I can't say this. I can't talk about it yet. But I can't say this. I can't talk about it yet. I can't say this. I can't talk about it yet. 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 I can't talk about
Who in God's name thought this was a good idea? I love Duran Duran, not as much as Mark loves Duran Duran. Mark loves them a lot more than I do.
Hey, they did a great version of White whatever I'm trying to say.
There's some okay stuff on that album. Most of it's bad.
Yeah. No. There's
Most
a lot
of it
great
is
on that album.
Most of it is bad.
No.
But nothing is quite as bad as 911 is no joke.
I didn't even know they made a Towers album.
Oh, yeah.
Duran Duran should
Warren
be doing.
Cucurilla was on it.
Yeah.
Great
Whoever
guitarist.
Duran Duran should be doing that song.
That's not one of my favorite albums by them, but I can't talk about this song right now.
So bad. So bad.
Good pick there.
So we get to Andy, number 10.
You know, we talked about it's so funny that you talk about bands that make cover albums, and we were talking about Def Leppard earlier. What a horrible decision for them to make the whole Yeah album, actually.
Yeah. It's so bad.
I love that album.
But my pick, my number 9,
I got the Target edition.
Def Leppard's Rock On. First of all, I have the original. The original by David Essex.
Oh, I don't like that version. I like the one from Dream a Little Dream with that one soap opera dude.
And the one from The Young and the Restless by Michael Daniels was even horrible.
I like that one too.
But now Def Leppard took it another step lower, because Def Leppard's version is so pretentious and horrible.
And what's even worse is they continued to play it live for like 10 years.
I'm glad they still do it. I'm glad they do, because it's a good bathroom break song.
I saw Def Leppard in 2018 and they were playing that godforsaken song.
For them. I don't know how it became a hit. It is
so bad. It's so bad.
Charles is like smiling at you right now. Charles is going, yeah, you fucked with
I was looking at the song list here. They did Hanging on the Telephone, the Blondie song.
It's bad. It's a bad track list.
Okay. I like the album. I think it's cool. But then we get to my number 10. I don't like the original version. I don't like this version, but I do like kind of the third version of this song because it's fucking Eddie Van Halen guitar. But Mick Jagger and David Bowie doing Dancing in the Street.
Ooh, yeah,
and the original Motown version of the song sucked. Van Halen did the best version of it, but this fucking song and that video just looked,
the video was awful. It makes it even worse.
And
it
even
looked like
still,
they were gonna make out.
And even still, that was one of the worst songs on the entire 6-pack of Van Halen.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I agree. Pretty Woman was awesome.
You don't like the Martha and the Vandellas song at all?
No,
the original.
Yeah,
no.
Oh no, that's a great song.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a great song, Mark.
Yeah, the Motown one.
Yeah,
is great.
I love Motown. I got Motown albums over here. I love some Smokey. I love some fucking, Marvin Gaye. I like some Shirelles. I like some freaking Supremes. I'm into that shit. I fucking heard that episode of Rock All Over You podcast, man. That fucking great Motown episode of them. But who's next? That was me, Jerry. You're on your number 9.
Well,
10.
this is a band that took a great song, totally fucking sterilized it, turned it into shit. And Mark, you're going to be very upset with me because I'm talking about U2 with their version of Fortunate Son.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
They took that fucking song where it had so much meaning at the time, totally fucking sterilized it. I mean, it sounds like shit. I mean, it's embarrassing, actually. I mean,
Happiness is a Warm Gun is a bad one by them too.
Yeah, it's just fucking absolute dog shit, dude. So
yeah,
that probably should have been higher on my list. But
Jerry, you know how much I love you too.
Mine.
Another one of my honorable mentions because I never listened to it before now.
Oh,
some of these bands that I'm sorry, a lot of bands. Mark's gonna throw me off here. Bands that I think that I fucking can't stand, like Duran Duran and U2 and stuff like that. The Cure. I'd be like, oh, they do a cover of this, and I'd be like, this has got to be terrible. And
you hit me with the Cure.
I just put them on honorable mention because I never really listened to them before, and I kind of tried to stick to shit that I've listened to through the years and was more familiar with. Because I tried to listen to a little bit of that U2 Fortunate Son. I made it maybe third of the
Man,
way
it's
through the song
terrible.
and turn the fucking shit off.
I made it halfway through the first verse and put it at number 3 on my list.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
spoiler
terrible.
alert.
Did they not take that song and totally took the fucking meaning of the song or whatever
You
it
know
was for
how
that
much
time
of a
and totally
YouTube
fucking sterilized it,
U2
man.
nerd I am, and I agree with you. And I also threw "Happiness Is a Warm Gun" under the bus too. That song sucks too.
It sounds like Bono hadn't had his coffee yet that morning.
I love me some U2, but fucking, yeah. I agree with you, Jerry. That is a great fucking pick. And I did take the shit out of a couple of my bands here, but then we get to your number 9, Bill.
All right. It's a Beatles cover for my number 9. This one's kind of fun though, actually, but it is bad. And that is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the great William Shatner.
Oh,
From the late 60s. Yeah.
you guys are picking shit that I can't talk about.
Worse than Rocket Man.
Yeah, Rocket Man is bad too.
Rocket Man is a classic.
Yeah, but
well,
like
you could have also put Leonard Nimoy on there for "If I Had a Hammer."
Yeah.
She packed my bags last night pre-flight.
The thing about Shatner is, as bad as it is, it's fun. I mean,
it's
like Rocket Man too. It's terrible, but man,
have you heard his album Has Been?
No. I have not.
Oh, that album is funny. So what do you call me? A has been? It's funny. You need to listen to Has Been, dude. It's fucking great comedy.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. But Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, man.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. If you're not familiar with that,
I heard it.
You've heard
it's
it,
bad,
right,
yeah.
Mark?
It's bad.
Yeah. He just talks the whole time. Yeah.
All right, you're number 9, Joesph.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick moment to break up the suckitude and point out a covers album that I actually think is very good, and that is Rush's Feedback. I think that's a very, very good covers album. They have a lot of really good covers on it. There's some that I'm not a huge fan of, but
even Time of the Season's good on there. I'm like, I hate that song.
That's not on here.
Well, what's that? They do something. What is the song? There's a hippie song on there.
For What It's Worth is on here.
Yes, that one.
You don't like
What Your Daddy?
Buffalo Springfield?
I don't like that original version. No,
I think it's overplayed.
I like Rush's version because I didn't expect that.
But anyway, I'll just go out and say this. I don't think there is such a thing as a perfect covers album. I don't think there is such a thing. I think no matter what you do, there's going to be at least one bad cover song on every album you could ever put out. But a lot of my list, and I'm that's why I keep talking between songs about other covers albums, because most of my list is actually made off of songs that these bands were stupid enough to put on actual studio albums.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the case for my number 9, which is actually surprisingly one that both Bill and Jerry mentioned that they were okay with. And it's one that when I mentioned that Motley Crue did an awful version of it, I think Megadeth's version of Anarchy in the UK is even freaking worse. They completely ruined that. First of all, nobody has ever done a good cover version of Anarchy in the UK. Nobody. The Sex Pistols own that song. No one is ever going to be able to do that song ever. And I think Dave Mustaine completely just, like you said, with
these boots,
he completely just took any meaning out of the song. He completely cut the balls off the song. It sounds so wimpy when Dave Mustaine is singing about anarchy in the USA, or however he changed the lyrics. He changed a bunch of the lyrics to try to be more edgy or whatever, and it just sounds so stupid. I have my problems with Megadeth to begin with. I'm not the world's biggest Megadeth fan. I think they're one of the more overrated thrash bands, particularly for reasons and songs like this. I think it's just awful.
All right, so let's see. We're up to Andy. What's your pick, man?
Yeah, this song is has came out in '63. The original by I think it's by the Shirelles, actually, when they did Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? I think they did. And it was more of a teenage love song. And then when Carole King did it herself, it was more of a adult meaning, which is fantastic done by her. But when Rainbow did Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Nah, not at all. That that killed it for me. It's got no meaning. It was just a reading, and it's horrible. So Rainbow with "Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow?"
That's a fat cat, dude.
But you know what his name is? Because they had a cover album. I brought him in here for that. This is Striper. They had a covering album called The Covering, which I really liked.
I hate that album, and I love Striper.
That's all right, Mark. It's your turn, man.
My turn. So who picked what? What'd you pick, Jerry?
I didn't pick.
Jerry didn't go yet.
Oh yeah, you didn't go yet. So I pick. It's already been picked. Duran Duran 911 is a joke. The song is a fucking joke, and I love fucking Duran Duran. I love most of that album. I love the cover of White Lions. Like, why am I saying lions? It's lion. What the fuck? But 911 is a joke, and it's a joke cover, and I love this band. So then we get to your number 9, Jerry.
Oh, my number 9 is, she's a talented girl, I guess, from the 2000s. She's wrote a couple of hits, I guess. But man, she tried to cover "Imagine" by John Lennon. I'm talking about Avril Lavigne.
God damn. You guys are taking shit.
Have you ever heard that version of it? My God, it's terrible, man.
And like I said,
she's a talented little girl, man. She's wrote some number 1 hits, but man, it's just totally, man. I just don't. You shouldn't cover that song in the first place, in my opinion. But
no,
if you're gonna do it, try to do it justice. And man, it's just awful, terrible. That's my number. What is that? Number 9.
Number 9. Number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Bill, number 8.
All right. So number 8 is a cover by a no talent ass clown named Michael Bolton. Ever seen Office Space?
Office Space, yeah.
This no talent ass clown took a Percy Sledge song and fucked it up. When a Man Loves a Woman. That's my number 8. Yeah, Michael Bolton, go away.
Why should I change my name? He's the one that sucks. I like that part of the movie.
Yeah, I was fine till I was 10 and that no talent ass clown came around.
He was in a rock band called Blackjack.
Yeah, and that's
it did.
Remember that song? Remember that song? Everybody's Crazy from what that?
Hey, I did like movie? That album that Neil Sean and Jonathan Cain played on, where he did Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. I think that's the only album I like by him. Thought that was a pretty good album because Neil Sean played on it. But and everybody hates Jonathan Cain. But so we get number 8, Joesph.
All right, so my number 8 pick will go to show that even the metal gods are not.
I know what this is.
I know what it is already.
I know what it is.
Pick. Yeah.
That song came on my shuffle
this
morning.
Mind.
Turned it off.
Said to Judas Priest in 1988, you know what would be a good idea? We're going to make a movie. And we want you to sing the title song, Johnny Be Good. No. I'm sorry. Judas Priest should not be doing Chuck Berry covers. And it is one of the only reasons that I think that this album is even worse than Turbo.
Under Blood Red Skies.
This album. There's great songs on it.
There's great songs on it.
There are great songs on it. The title track's good. But Johnny Be Good might even be worse than Parental Guidance.
Look, I like Parental Guidance, but
no, it is worse than Parental Guidance.
Okay.
Coming a lot later on my list.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that song.
God, but it's funny, that movie of Robert Downey Jr. and Anthony Michael Hall was horrible.
It was bad.
And I love Weird Science. That's one of my favorite teenage dreams.
I'm a St. Louis guy, so if you're going to cover Chuck Berry, you better do it right. You know, I mean, that's guy's he's a legend where I'm from here.
There's 2 great rules about Chuck Berry. 1, don't let Judas Priest cover Johnny Be Good. 2, don't let Yoko Ono around a live mic on stage next to Chuck Berry.
God, that was hilarious, wasn't it? You just look at Chuck Berry's face while she's doing it. He's like, "What the fuck is she doing?"
And then thankfully somebody in the sound booth cut her mic off, and Chuck Berry looked so happy. He looked so happy.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, Rob Halford's lucky Chuck Berry didn't fly to fly over to
Yeah.
England and bitch slap him for doing
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Did he bitch slap Keith Richards?
Yeah, he didn't bitch slap Keith Richards. He
Pulled
laid
him
him
off.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck and so real quick, so we don't get too far off topic, but Chuck had a girl with him. They were all on tour together or whatever, and Chuck had a girl with him, and he was taking her out to dinner, and he's walking arm in arm with her down the hallway, and Keith walked up to him. He's hammered. He's got a bottle, and he's like, "Hey, Chuck, why don't you ditch the broad and come out with Mick and I?" And Chuck very easily took the girl's hand and took it out from his, and then he just cold cocked Keith and laid him out in the middle of the hallway. Took the girl, put her arm in arm again, and they stepped over Keith's body that's laying in the hallway, and they walked out, and he took her out to dinner. And when he got back later on, he went up to Keith. He's like, "Motherfucker, you ever disrespect me like that in front of a woman, or disrespect a woman like that in front of me again?" And he's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass even worse." That's the story I
Respect to
heard
Chuck
from
Berry.
Keith.
Respect to Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
So then we get to your number 8, Andy.
My number 8 is going to come from a band that I like a lot, and they made a covers album. The covers album I didn't like at all, and that's the Guns N' Roses. Doing since what was it? Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot how bad it was.
Spaghetti Incident.
Yes, it's not the Spaghetti Incident, but it was that Since I Don't Have You.
Oh, Since I Don't Have You, yeah.
That video was god awful. Man, I thought that the video for Strange was bad.
I like the Strange.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Dolphins.
The song's good, but the video is no bueno. And then
I was stoned watching that, so it looked cool.
I guess they didn't have enough water. They had to do another one, and it was so lame. It was so horrible. So that's my pick. Guns N' Roses.
They were so pretentious by that point. Guns N' Roses. They didn't even know. Axl was so out of touch with reality at that point in their career that Spaghetti Incident thing is
their
so
version of Hair of the Dog one there is even worse. I think it's awful. And you know what? So much respect to Nazareth for hearing that, and then Axl Rose asked them to play at his wedding, and they said, "We're good, thanks."
You know what's I forgot, but I'm just gonna say Charles. He would say about the Spaghetti Incident, just to bring him on here. He would say that's the album that got him into good bands, because he went and looked at the original tracks they covered.
Yeah, they covered Stooges. I mean, they covered some
good songs.
Yeah,
Dead Boys,
and they covered Charles Manson.
Yeah,
but they didn't execute it. They were all. I mean, they could do no wrong in their eyes. Well, to our ears, they sure did.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go for a song. I don't like this band, but I like the song, but I don't like them doing it. I like the Eurythmics. I don't like Marilyn Manson. Why did he make that song sound so fucking evil? It was haunting with the Eurythmics.
I agree.
It was more haunting with them.
I love his version of it.
I hate it.
I love the Marilyn Manson version.
I can't.
A lot better.
Damn it, that's my number 8. No, I like Annie Lennox's voice on that.
I love the Eurythmics version as well, but I think Marilyn Manson just makes it so cool sounding.
I don't like it.
I mean, they completely changed the whole meaning around. They really. And
I don't like metal.
Hey, you said it.
Well, that's what Charles tells me all the time. But then we get to your number 7, Bill.
How about my pick?
Excuse me.
Oh, Jerry's still
Jerry, yeah, you're last, man. Go ahead. My bad.
Speaking, let's stick with Guns N' Roses and talk about pretentious. Holy shit, their version of "Knocking on Heaven's Door" is fucking total trash.
I like that song.
Never liked that fucking horrible, stupid phone call. That phone call in the middle of the song. Every time I hear that, just pisses me off.
Well, just take out the phone call. It's a good song.
No, it's not. It's not. It sucks, dude. It's just fucking shit, dude.
That's my
It's
favorite.
That those two albums are overrated as it is.
Well, yeah, we made
but-
10 good songs
And
out
in
of
that
those two
piece of
albums.
shit too, it doesn't help it very much.
But
And
when he
and
goes,
it's
it's on. Yeah, that part sucks. It's on
I'm
the
like, yeah.
fucking radio all the time too. It's
They
on
burned
the
you
radio
out,
all
but I like the
fucking
way
time.
Axel sounds.
No, it
on
never
that song.
burns me out. It never burns me out. It was always awful in my opinion. Man.
And it's even
I
better when
actually-
they drag it out to about 15 minutes when they play
exactly.
I actually don't mind it.
I
I
love
don't know
it.
why. I don't
Neither
mind
do
it.
I.
Actually.
I
I
like
love it.
No, you know, heaven, no.
I love it. The way he goes, down.
All right, sorry.
So that's your. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Jerry. You know I always skip people.
You always skip me, but there's a
No,
reason for that.
it's part of the show.
You're trying to erase me from the show. I get it.
Oh God, fuck you.
it.
You could take.
No,
the
don't
put-downs.
say that, Mark. That's how it went last time.
No, me and Jerry could talk so much shit to each other, and we just laugh at each other. We've had our blocking days, and then we thought we were stupid, and we unblocked each other. So that's fucking. We're cool. I love this guy. He fucking rules, and I thank him for doing Freeform. I thank him for doing this. I love the guy, and I can't wait to hear 3 Shots Down with you and Andy. I'm waiting for
It's
that because I need
coming.
more podcasts as I go to work. Everybody's been lazy. There's nothing new coming out.
Shot 3 is hard to schedule, man.
Well, dude, whatever. I'll help you, whatever you need. So we get to your number 7, Bill.
Well, Andy completely stole my thunder because my number 7 is Since I Don't Have You by Guns N' Roses, the cover of the Skyliners. What a complete dog shit song. Yeah. I mean, yeah, terrible. So, yeah, we already went through that one. So,
and the
right.
Skyliners version isn't that good either. I mean, I just don't like the song.
No, it's not a great song.
No, but the Skyliners version's a lot better than the Guns N' Roses.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better. But to start off, it's
Don't you guys like Kiss Great Expectations?
I do.
I do.
Ooh.
I like that song.
What's that song they do? That one song that Paul Stanley sings. It's a cover.
Then She
Destroyer.
Kissed Me.
Oh, that sucks.
So What's
God
Upon a Star by Gene Simmons.
I should have picked Then She
that's
Kissed
solo
Me.
album.
Yeah.
That's an honorable mention right there, and She Kissed Me. But we get your number 7, Joesph.
All righty, time to talk about a band that no one has either heard of or talked about since the 90s, except for Aaron Camaro. And that is Ugly Kid Joe doing Cats in the Cradle.
I love that song.
I love that version.
In the
man.
hell.
I like that version too.
I love the original version of Cats in the Cradle.
I think it's better than the original.
Joe's
I talk
version
about Ugly Kid
sucks
Joe all the
so
time, just as
bad.
much as he does.
So bad. It is so bad. They turned a very heartfelt, emotional song into a whiny mess.
Really? I disagree with you on that one, Joe.
I love his voice, man.
I hate his voice so much.
You don't like them. That's why.
He does kind of.
I'm
He does.
I'm
does have
ambivalent
kind
to
of
them.
a-
I've
he
never
does have a
listened
whiny
to an Ugly
voice.
Kid Joe song in my life willingly. Never.
You
have.
never heard Neighbor?
No.
You haven't heard Neighbor. You haven't heard Goddamn Devil.
No.
I hate everything. I hate everything about you.
No.
I know that.
Song is the worst song they ever did in their career.
It's one of the only songs I know.
Listen to fucking Jesus Rode a Harley Davidson.
I'm good, thanks.
Wait, come on.
I'm good.
listen to all this fucking sabotage shit that you guys give me. Listen to fucking Ugly Kid Joe. Jesus
Mark,
Rode a
I
Harley
have
Davidson.
about 800 CDs in my queue ahead of that. I'll get to it in about 30 years.
You know, you motherfuckers made me listen. You go, hey, Mark, check this out. Hey, Mark, guess what? I check everything out. Wait, every time I give you guys something, no, we'll wait 20 years to listen to it. It's okay.
As you can see around me, I have quite a little bit of a backlog. So,
well, you know, it took Jerry 3 years to listen to Newer Night Ranger. I was bugging him for 3 years. So that's cool. So we get to you, Andy. What's your number 7?
My number 7 is a band that I didn't like before, and then my uncle kept on griping at me about them. So one day I went record shopping, and I said, you know what? Let me pick up this album. You know, it's a buck or two, and I liked it. and that was Phoenix Grand Funk Railroad. And ever since then, I've gotten almost everything by Grand Funk. I love it. But man, when they did that cover of Locomotion, and also in fact, it's their second biggest hit, just behind a couple of them. I mean, it's like a big hit for them, and it's freaking horrible. I hate it.
That was the version by Kylie Minogue.
By Grand Funk Railroad. Yeah, that's bad, but at least it fits her better.
Yeah, at least she's nice to look at. Yeah.
Well, she got hotter later.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it was a teeny bop girl singing it. I don't need to hear freaking Mel and these dudes doing it. No way. Mel and Mark and what was the other guy? The third guy. There was Mel, Mark, Mel and Mark. It'll come to me.
All right. So then I get to my number 7, and then Jerry's last. So my number 7 is William Shatner, Lucina Sky with Diamonds. So we already talked about that.
Right.
But I was thinking I should have picked Leonard Nimoy if I had a hammer. That's even worse. But that's my number 7. So you're number 7, Jerry.
All right. This song hasn't been picked yet, and I'm surprised, but I'm thinking it's higher on your guys' list. Because there's no way I think that I'm the only one that picked this piece of shit. But talking about fucking Limp Bizkit doing Behind Blue Eyes.
Ooh, Scribble hates you right now.
Oh, I know, but still, man. It's
hey, Scribble's a great underground rapper. Check him out on iTunes.
But his tastes aren't exactly the greatest. But
he's got some good taste.
But man, that's such a terrible version. I hate that band. They could fucking, I don't know. They in my eyes, they can't do anything right. But this is completely wrong in my opinion.
That's actually terrible. one of the couple of Limp Bizkit songs I can listen to.
Ooh, really?
That cover, yeah.
I love that song. I love
the Who version too. Obviously,
but man,
the Who version is the only version to listen to. Jeez,
not good.
I want to hear that. I can't get into it now. So you're number 6, Bill.
My number 6 is Razzmatazz, Take It Outside. We're talking about Your Mama Don't Dance.
Oh, I like that
by
version.
Poison, the cover of Loggins and Messina. God,
I like that version better than Loggins and Messina.
Hair metal, pretentious crap. Yep.
Good
Poison
sucks.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
I don't like that song by Loggins and Messina to begin with. And when Poison did it, that's where I kind of stepped away. Maybe
you don't like Back to the Rocking Horse? That's a great song, man. Get back to the rocking. It's on the same album.
Yeah.
Every rose has its thorn.
Right.
Come on, Bill and Ted. Yeah. Every rose has its thorn.
Yeah.
But
I had that album when I was a kid. It's probably still around here somewhere. I had it, but yeah, that cover is terrible.
Yeah, really
what about you,
Yep.
Joesph? Number 6.
Alrighty, so my number 6 is one that Jerry stole my thunder on. I didn't think anybody would bring this one up, and that is the atrocious Nickelback cover of Saturday Night's All Right Fighting. All I'll say, and we'll move on, is how did anyone talk Dimebag Darrell into being a part of this song? How? Was someone holding? I'm not going to make the joke because of what eventually happened. But was somebody holding him at some sort of point?
Yeah.
But how? It's just so bad. It's
Scream's record label thing.
Oh
right?
yeah, well it was. I think it was like a
contractual thing.
Yeah, I think it was like a Charlie's Angels soundtrack or something. So it had to be.
Grab thing. Yeah.
It had to be record company or like management.
Yes.
Doesn't record companies ruin good music? Just saying.
All right.
Well, they tell people how to make music and it fucks them up.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Next.
No, Jerry.
Andy.
It's Andy.
Hey, hi. I am going to go with a band that I've had my love-hate relationship with them. So what? Who cares? But my pick is the Rolling Stones doing the countless covers that I could have picked by them.
Ooh.
But I went with their terrible cover of My Girl. Ugh.
Oh, that is horrible. Harlem Shuffle is pretty bad too.
Yeah. Like I said, I wanted to pick. It was between that Harlem Shuffle, the first 2.5 albums.
Yeah.
Pretty bad stuff in my opinion.
Ooh.
But I'm gonna go with My Girl, which
Yeah,
they
it is
should have
bad.
been doing that in the mid '70s when they were, you know, supposedly rolling, and then they throw that out there. And it was just bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my number 6. Something I don't think that has ever been recorded, but it was broadcast on VH1, and it was the most horrible thing I've ever heard in my life. And I don't know why this isn't number 1. It should have been number 1. Celine Dion, "Shook Me All Night Long" by AC/DC.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh,
Ah,
what the fuck was that?
Thank God I never heard that.
Yeah.
Oh,
bad.
you gotta go watch it. You gotta
No,
watch
I'm not.
it. No.
Mark.
And that was
It's
like
bad. It's
Yeah.
bad.
that was like a VH1.
Yeah,
It was those like
yeah.
VH1 divas or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
it was
and like Shania Twain and Mariah
Mhm.
Carey. It had those. Yeah, I remember.
I have
that.
an ex-girlfriend who I actually her love for Celine Dion made me question if she was on the spectrum or something. I mean, she was so obsessed with Celine Dion. And
Oh
so
my
I was
God.
like,
Here it is.
once we broke up, I was so glad I'd never even had to look.
VH1 divas.
I don't pay attention.
I got that song. It is recorded.
No, it's a
Shook Me
different.
All
It's a
Night
different
Long is
one.
on there.
No, this is the second year they did it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mark.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
that
part
was-
2.
That was gonna give me a heart attack if it was recorded.
Oh yeah, Tina Turner was on that too.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Mark, what was your number 7? I didn't hear it when I was at
Oh,
in-
William Shatner, "Lucy in the Sky with
Okay.
Diamonds."
yeah.
Okay.
So number 6 is Celine Dion, their version of "She Shook Me All Night Long" for that diva shit. I
Yeah.
looked at that and I was horrified. I watch it because it's so cheesy. Yeah, you should just watch it for the cheesy factor. It's like
Oh.
it's like watching a train wreck sing. She has a beautiful voice, but I've always said she sounds like a machine.
Mhm.
And it's just not, I can't get the soul from her. I just think she's a machine. It just comes too
Can't
easy
stand
for
it.
her. But
Terrible.
people like her, and that's cool. So what's your number 5, Bill? Number
Five.
6,
Nope.
Jerry.
6, Jerry.
Well, number 6. Okay, I'm going to stick with the Who, and you guys are going to hate me for this one. But the Scorpions version of "I Can't Explain"
Oh, I like
is
that.
I love it.
absolutely.
I love it.
I love that
it's
version.
Terrible, man, and I love the
I
Scorpions.
bought the
man.
ballads and rockers because of that song, or what? The
Yeah,
rockers and
I
ballads. Yeah.
just did not like that song at
I'm
all.
with
and I
you,
was-
Jerry.
I was pretty embarrassed by that version, actually.
Yeah.
So, and I love the Scorpions. Don't get me wrong, like I said, but man, that version is just terrible. I'm sorry.
But that's a bad version. You're right.
Ugh,
not-
I
I'm not
like it.
familiar
I
with
bought the
that.
rockers and ballads because of that.
I got the Rockers Ballads compilation. It's pretty good, but man, that song, it doesn't fit them at all. At all.
See, I honestly I knew that version before I knew the Who version.
Oh, really? Did you?
And I'll be even more controversial than Jerry. I'm not a huge Who fan. I'm not a huge Who fan. And I'm not a huge fan of their version of that song. I like the Scorpions version more.
Oh, wow, really?
I like the Who version better.
Oh, but then I'm a big Who fan. I love the Who.
Me too.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I got a
I'm
box set
I'm,
over here
I'm a
somewhere.
greatest hits guy when it comes to the Who. I'm
Oh,
not
really? Are you?
I'm not a
I-
huge Who fan.
Album. Tommy's bad,
Yeah.
like-
What?
but Quadrophenia. Now
Well,
that
Quadrophenia is way
Wow.
better.
See, that's one that
515.
I do need to look a little bit more into. I do have I have Who's Next.
Who's Next is
I
amazing.
do enjoy.
Who's
but
Next is one of my
Their
favorites.
early stuff I find really, really
You don't
annoying.
like Happy Jack or
No.
Boris the Spider?
I hate Boris the Spider.
Oh,
Really?
yeah,
Magic
fucking
Bus.
song.
Everybody
Magic
likes
Bus.
Magic Bus.
Magic
Come
Bus
on,
is
man.
pretty good.
I can't explain. I
My
like fucking all that
Generation.
shit. My
I
generation.
I hate my generation.
Oh,
Oh wow! You see, I like all that stuff.
Yeah,
I
Boris
love-
Spider's one of
I love-
My favorite Who song is The Seeker. I love The Seeker.
Well, the Who
That's a good
remind that Rush did a great cover of that.
Rush, I actually like Rush's version better.
I kind of do too because it's Rush. But the thing is, fucking early, fucking you could hear like the Who being the Beatles, like they're changing in the fucking like bubblegum shit and to
let's hold on
psychedelic
there.
shit, huh?
Let's stomp on the brakes there.
You don't think they were kind of copying the Beatles?
Well, I don't think they ever got close.
Well, I think
No.
they tried
Mm,
more than the Rolling Stones did their own thing. The Who kind of went like Happy Jack was like old, like She Loves You, yeah, yeah. Going to that, and then they went into Tommy and harder rock like the Beatles were doing.
I mean, the Beatles did harder rock, a couple songs here and there, but not like the Who did.
No, I don't think so.
Who and the Beatles were completely different.
Yeah, they are not comparable. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I see what you're saying, Mark.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
The way that they were progressing.
Yeah, they were
Mhm.
progressing like the Beatles. They were changing.
Yeah.
Like the Kinks were doing the same thing and nobody noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now, that's one not one great thing. A lot of the great things about the Who is what you're saying is that every album is different.
Yeah.
That they evolved in every album. Yeah.
They were called.
Yeah.
I said they were like the Beatles on that. Every
On that,
album
yeah.
was different.
Yeah,
So
because Who's Next was completely different.
Yep.
From what they had done before.
One of the best live albums, Live at Leeds, man.
Live at Leeds is amazing, dude. God,
amazing,
so good.
Fucking album.
15 minutes. My Generation. Oof.
All right, so who's on number 5?
Bill.
Me.
Bill.
Yep.
And
this is one Mark already had, and it's terrible. It's I got Dancing in the Streets by David Bowie and Mick Jagger. I mean, I tried to watch the video the other day and just seeing Mick starting to come out dancing and the way he's dressed, I'm like, it kind of breaks my heart because I love Mick Jagger, man. I have since that's my dad's favorite band. I took him to see him a few years ago. I mean, the Stones can't do much wrong in my book, but man, it's tough to watch that. That shit is terrible. Terrible.
Dude, it's like they look like they're gonna make out.
Yeah.
Well, the rumor is they did after they were done shooting that video.
A little controversial, man. We don't care. Guy on guy, girl on girl love. You do what you want.
It's not controversial. It's pretty much been proven that was what happened.
Like Richard Gere with the gerbil.
Who knows? Who knows?
What
happens?
They say that
Ross, exactly what you shove up your ass is your own business. Just don't tell me, man.
What happens what happens between a man and his gerbil is none of my business.
I heard the rumor that Rod Stewart got his stomach pumped because of cum.
That's not true.
That's not true. No. Oh, okay.
No, that one's not true.
That one's not. But I heard that story too. So we get to your number 5, Joesph.
I'm really excited about this one because thankfully I get to beat Mark to the punch on this one. I guarantee you that we are not going to go this entire list without Mark mentioning this band. And it's a band that I love. It's a band that I really love, and a band that has become known for their cover songs because they're so different from the original artist's songs. Except for their last covers album. And I think it was universally regarded as probably their worst set of covers. And particularly one song that pretty much the entire metal community said, why would you ever cover that song? And I'm, of course, talking about Ghost covering Phantom of the Opera by Iron Maiden.
Oh, I don't like that song. I didn't think of Ghost.
Actually. I'm surprised. I thought you would be ragging all over them for covering the Beatles or somebody.
No, because I got Ghost fans on this fucking show, so I don't want to piss people off anymore.
Well, then I'll take.
I saved that for later.
I love a lot of Ghost covers. I love tons of Ghost covers. I even loved the Genesis.
Well, Jesus, He Knows Me is actually a good cover, so I can't.
They actually did. I thought that was great.
It was.
I think that Ghost is not the band to be covering Di'Anno era Maiden. Not at all.
I agree.
Okay, they are not the band.
But I'm not a huge Di'Anno fan, so that's probably why I didn't think
Di'Anno is my favorite era of Maiden.
I didn't like that version at first, but I've grown to like that version of it.
I don't think I've
grown to like it.
I cannot stand it.
They do a lot of covers. I mean, they do like "Sweet Dreams" by the Eurythmics. They've done that in the past. They've done.
They did "Missionary Man."
Missionary Man.
Missionary Man. Man.
They did all kinds of covers.
They did cover "Here Comes the Sun" by the Beatles.
They did that. They did. They did
the other song called Bible. Real cool.
You guys are gonna make me
throw
throw up.
They cover a ton of like underground bands too.
Right.
But that version of Phantom of the Opera,
trendy with those underground bands.
I cannot stand that version of Phantom of the Opera, and it's probably because I'm such a huge Deanna Maiden fan. Deanna Maiden, I think,
by Maiden.
That's
Yeah,
probably
Deanna-
why I didn't care about it. 'cause
Deanna
I'm not
Maiden
a
is
huge
by
Diana
far
fan.
the best Maiden to me,
No,
and
well, to
I
you,
think
yeah, to you, yeah,
that
More of a Bruce guy myself.
me too.
I think that for once I will agree with Mark's comment about Ghost. I don't think Tobias's voice fit that song.
I didn't think it was bad, man. I'm
I
serious.
did not like it at all.
I tell you what, one of the best shows I've seen in a long time was fucking Ghost a couple months ago. Those dudes.
Yeah,
I was
it
so
was
I'm
good,
still
dude.
I'm still kicking myself in the ass
Man,
for not going.
what a
I'm
fucking
still
show.
kicking
Amon
myself
Amarth
in
were
the
Go
both
ass.
go
great.
see Maiden. They're coming to America.
Amon
man.
Amarth was
Amon
fucking
Amarth's
awesome
great.
too.
I loved.
Yeah.
I saw them. I saw which tour was that? I think Slayer's Farewell tour. I saw
Jerry,
Amon
I think
Amarth.
Maiden's coming by you, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen them so many times.
Dude,
I don't
he's
know.
got
We'll see.
flamethrowers, man.
I know.
Yeah,
we'll
but-
see, man. I don't
Dude,
know.
they changed the sets
if I get it, if I
it's
get
a
a
great
free,
production.
if I
You
get
like
a decent
production?
price on it,
What Mark? What song is he using the flamethrowers for now?
I don't remember, but it's great. It was 2 years ago, man. I can't
But
remember.
they changed the set list. They're not doing
Yeah.
Flight of Icarus anymore.
That's cool. But he was using flamethrowers. But fuck,
Yeah,
they
for Flight
played
of
3
Icarus.
songs off Senjutsu and the fans were into it.
The
I
fans
can't
were
tell
not
you
into
any other
show.
band that could play new songs off an album and they don't go to the bathroom.
The fans were not into it at my
it
show.
would,
They were at my show.
It would be cool to see them do Alexander the Great. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'll
man.
tell you,
I don't know.
I'm tempted not to go just because I've seen the videos and poor Nico just sounds awful. It's not good. His drumming is just not, and I feel bad because he had.
Well,
all
they're
those
not
men-
coming out
stuff.
to next year. He said he's building up his strength on the
Let's.
power
I hope
trip
so
thing.
because I saw the videos from that power trip thing, and he did not look good.
That sucks. Yeah, and Mark Slaughter, he does have one tone. You're right.
Didn't he?
But it was a good show. It was a good show.
All right, where
but,
are we at anyway?
We're at number 5.
Andy's number 5.
My number 5, I am going to go with. Oh, I'm going up and down this list. You know what? It's so funny that you had mentioned Limp Bizkit because I had 2 songs about Limp Bizkit that I didn't know which one to go with. So I'm going to go with their god awful version of the great George Michael classic "Faith."
Oh, they did that?
Yep.
I don't remember
It-
that.
Oh, I
it
don't
is-
want to hear that.
That
Scribble,
was the
you
first
suck.
thing they ever did, Mark. That
Mark,
was
it's even
That
worse
was
than
like
you
a
think.
big hit.
It's even worse than you
I
could
love
think.
George Michael Faith.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what
But
put them on the
Bizkit
map.
went ahead and
It's terrible.
shoved that up.
I was a Wham. I'm still a Wham fan, so there you go. I love George Michael, man.
Okay, let's not skip over Andy's amazing comment right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was amazing, dude. I'm sorry. Oh God. So we get to my number 5, Sheryl Crow, and I like Sheryl Crow. I don't
love
like
Cheryl.
her version of "Sweet Child of Mine."
Ooh.
It wasn't off. It wasn't awful. but it wasn't
Oh,
great.
dude.
In the middle of the road.
You give chicks because they have boobs more options. You know,
What?
I think you like more
What?
bands of chicks.
That made no sense.
Yeah, I do. I know.
We do love our women fans, by the way, no
Yeah.
matter what Mark is.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Jerry. You seem to like that. You go more for the female artists lately.
Dude, I still think females don't get a lot of respect in the music business. There's a lot
they
of great
don't.
fucking. There's a lot
I
of great
love
fucking guitar
artists.
players out there right
Yeah.
now, dude. I
Mhm.
mean, I hate the fact when they call them female musicians. They're just fucking musicians, man.
Right.
I hate them.
Nikki Stringfield,
Frickin-
Nina Strauss.
frickin-
Nita
frickin-
Strauss.
Freaking
fucking
Nancy
just
Wilson
rule.
would kick a lot of
Nancy Wilson.
male
yeah.
guitar players' asses.
Yeah.
Great. But okay, where are we at now? Andy just went.
No, Mark.
Mark
Mark
yeah.
just went, so it's your turn, Jerry.
My turn. Okay. I'm probably the only Joe Jackson fan in the group. I get it. He's kind of an acquired taste.
No,
I like
don't mind
stepping
Joe
out.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
cool.
Jerry, we talk about Joe Jackson all the time.
First of all, if you let Sugar Ray cover you, that's a big fucking
Oh,
mistake.
Ooh.
If you ever heard their version of is she really going out with him? Oh my god.
Ooh.
It is butt ugly awful. I can't stand Mark.
I thought you were
McGrath,
going to
dude.
pick
He's
"Got the
fucking-
Time" by Anthrax.
No, but yeah, it's,
He ate
it's
after
I
it.
forgot about. I forgot
a
about
shit
that.
list.
I
a
forgot
shit
about
list
that
isn't-
song
yeah.
too.
A shit list isn't complete without a Sugar Ray song, so I had to put that one on there.
Right.
Definitely horrible.
But man, that debut album by Joe Jackson is just so
Oh
good.
fucking
Yeah.
hey, dude.
Jerry, we talk about Joe Jackson.
Yeah, I
even
guess we
think-
have a few times. Yeah.
I think you do like the Anthrax version that got the time now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't like Joey.
And yeah, Joey Belladonna pisses me off, but you know I do like the other eras of it, so maybe it's just him.
Bush rules.
Bush era Anthrax did a ton of great covers.
And he was a singer. He was a singer on the debut. I thought was fucking awesome. What was his name?
Neil Turbin.
Yeah.
Neil Turbin. Yeah, fucking great album, man.
All right. So we get to your number 4, Bill.
And in
Yeah,
fact,
and this one,
I'm
this
sorry,
one's
go
one-
ahead.
No, did you go, Andy?
I did. I'm sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
yeah. So this one's one that when I in 2020 when I lost my job at the newspapers and I was looking for a job, I got hired on at the warehouses where I'm at now, and I was working on the floor, and they play music all the time for the people, and there was so much auto-tuned bullshit on there all the time. And one day a song came on, and it took me a minute to realize what it was. It was a cover of Can't Take My Eyes Off of You by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I love that song.
Me
Frankie
too.
Valli.
Oh yeah.
It's such a beautiful
Yeah.
song. And I can't even pronounce the person who did it. It's AIIVAWN. It's a female singer. That's the name of the artist that did it. It's auto-tuned, and it's got that Casio keyboard
I heard it. I know what you're talking about.
in the background. And I started bitching while we were on the floor. I said, what is this god awful shit? I go, Frankie Valli's not even dead yet. Can you wait till he dies before you butcher his song? My God. I mean, it is awful. Absolutely awful.
Yeah, I was working at Walmart at the time. That used to come on the radio all the fucking time. And that I didn't know who it was, but I do remember hearing that, you know, what you're talking about. So I have
terrible.
heard it. It's
About
bad. Yeah.
2020, 2021, right in there,
Yeah.
it came out.
Mhm.
Oh, it's terrible.
Terrible. It's bad. Yeah.
Oh, I love the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
And that version of that song is just great.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
such great harmonies.
Oh, absolutely. Frankie Valli's. I mean, I think he's amazing, and he still sounds good. My ex-girlfriend and her mom just went to see him here recently. He doesn't move around much anymore, but he still sounds good.
Yeah. It's like Barry Manilow.
Yeah.
Doesn't move much, but he still sounds good.
Barry Manilow. Oh.
Hey, I love
it.
it. Leave it alone.
Enjoy, man. Enjoy it. Did we get to your number 4, Joesph?
Well, Andy just beat me to the punch on this one. The reason that I will say that George Michael is no longer with us is because Fred Durst got him hooked on drugs from hearing his awful cover of Faith. God, it's so bad. I honestly I hate Limp Bizkit. I really do. I don't mind their version of Behind Blue Eyes. I really don't.
Ooh,
It's not awful, but I'd never listen to it. I would never go out of my way to listen to it.
Oh.
I have an emotional connection to the song My Way because of WrestleMania 17. But other than that,
way or the highway.
Other than that, Limp Bizkit can eat a dick. I don't care.
Well,
But-
fucking Undertaker used one of their songs for a while.
Yeah, Roland.
Yeah.
Roland was pretty cool.
So that makes it good?
No, but it was cool that the Undertaker used it.
Yeah.
Well, why would it be cool? It's a bad song and the Undertaker has shitty taste then.
I mean, the Undertaker also used Kid Rock, American Badass. So
Right.
I like Kid Rock
Yeah,
though.
true too.
Yeah,
there
but-
you go.
he ripped the song ripped off sad but true.
Oh.
Whatever. No. Limp Bizkit's cover of Faith might be one of the worst things I've ever heard. Honestly.
Bad.
I can't wait to scribble the comment on this episode because he watches every episode. He's gonna tell you guys off. He's gonna say Limp Bizkit rules, Faith
Yeah.
rules, fuck you guys. But scribble, I say Kid Rock rules though. But I got you on that one.
Enjoy.
You're number 4, Andy.
Kid Rock doesn't roll shit. My number 4 is going to be Britney Spears doing My Prerogative.
Oh,
Ooh.
And I like the song by Bobby Brown. In fact, that whole album, Don't Be Cruel, is really
I like
good.
Bobby Brown. I love
Great
fucking
song.
New Edition.
But
New Edition
when
rules
Britney
too.
Spears did it. It's so fake and so blah blah blah. It's just shitty.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Andy, I think I've probably watched more music videos from Britney Spears than any other music artist in the history of music, but they've all been muted.
On mute.
On mute,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was
still
Madonna
remember the
during
first
like
time
a
I saw
virgin
her.
era for me.
I can remember the first time I saw her. I was 18 years old, I think. I was going to college. I was still living with my parents. I was going to junior college, and I was getting ready to walk down the stairs, and Hit Me Baby One More Time came on, and she came out in the Catholic schoolgirl outfit. And I
she was 16, dude.
I said, I was 18. So I walked back over and I just sat down on the couch and I just watched the whole thing in complete awe. That was the first time I ever saw her. I can still remember that.
I watched it once and turned it off. I go, this is horrible. I said, she's hot.
The music was horrible. Yes.
Oh God. I couldn't.
Yeah, when it comes to looks, I was more of Team Christina in that era. I thought Christina Aguilera was prettier than her.
Really?
That's just my opinion, I guess. Yeah, I think so. In my opinion, yeah.
I like Christina Aguilera had a real voice.
I'd agree with that.
She had a real voice, but
yeah,
she looked like she was on meth.
All right.
No.
Skinny and the big head. I just.
Oh man, seriously? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So who just picked Britney Spears? Who's on their number 4?
I think Andy just went. So it's your
Mark.
turn, dude.
Andy. Oh, it's my turn. Oh, somebody said Britney Spears, my prerogative, right?
Yeah, that was Andy.
That was you? I picked Britney Spears. She butchered fucking the Rolling Stones. I can't get no satisfaction.
Yeah, she did.
What the fuck? You're hot as fuck, lady.
Oh, it's terrible.
But stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your teeny bopper, Backstreet Boys, whatever shit. Justin Timberlake shit.
She still looks incredible. You ever see those Instagram videos she puts
she
out?
does.
Wow.
I follow her.
I'd still take my chances. Yeah,
still looks good.
Dodge the knives.
I follow her, but
it's cool, baby.
Let's get to your number 3. Your number 4, Jerry.
Your turn. You picked Britney Spears?
Already went. Britney Spears. Your turn.
Okay. I kind of feel bad about this one now because the singer just died, but it was a shitty band anyway. It was a song originally written by
Riley's LA Gun.
It was originally written by Neil Diamond and covered by the Monkees.
Oh.
I'm talking about Smash Mouth. I'm a
Believer. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I feel bad shit on the guy. He just died recently, but man, what a horrible band they were. I'm sorry. And this song just proved it. I know it's for the fucking. What was that fucking movie?
Shrek, right?
Shrek. I get it. I guess, but man, I guess if it was played in the confounds of that movie, maybe it would be all right. But listen to it like on the radio or something.
Oh no, it was
total
bad.
shit,
dude.
It's
They're
bad.
like Sugar. They're like Sugar Ray and fucking Smash Mouth of the same band.
Sugar Ray started out as a hardcore band.
Yeah,
they
did.
That one song that was more like that off the first album, I Can't Fly. And then they made every song sound like Fly.
Remember Ricky Rackman said that Mark McGrath was always hanging out at the metal parties and they always made fun of him. And then he went pop and they go, oh, fuck, he was never metal. You know?
Look, I'm ragging on them as they're fucking counting their money. I get it. But still, to me, it just doesn't appeal to me. If you like it,
Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's also got a show on XM as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's on 9.
I like listening to the old DJs on XM, like Nina Blackwood and Martha Quinn. Those are pretty cool shit they do. But we get to your number. Where are we at? Number 3.
Yeah, and I can't believe nobody's had this because my number 2 and number 1 have already been taken, but nobody's done this one. I'm going back to another GNR cover, and Appetite for Destruction and Lies, Lies, Lies. I love that era of Guns N' Roses. After that, it really goes shitty for me. And they covered Sympathy for the Devil.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh my God.
Interview with the Vampire. It was horrible.
It was on the Interview with the Vampire.
Fucking horrible.
Soundtrack. And it was David Geffen had a lot to do with that movie. And I think that's why they did it. That should have been the Stones version of the song at the end of that movie. I mean, it would have been great, but yeah, no, they did this, and Axl just absolutely butchered it. He's not even singing; he's just talking.
Yeah.
He pulled old William Shatner on it, Oh, it's bad. Bad.
At least Shatner did it for comedy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Axl always did everything because he didn't know. He's so, removed from reality, man. He had no clue what reality was anymore by that point. He's so pretentious. Yep.
So full of himself.
Yep.
So what's your number 3, Joesph?
All right. So let's talk about one of the most famous or infamous cover albums ever released, and that is Garage Inc.
Oh.
Okay.
I think, like Bill said, Metallica from 84 to 92 could do no wrong when it came to covers. You take the entirety of disc 2 of this album, aside from the Motorhead covers, it is absolutely perfect. All the stuff from 84 through 92. I hate the Motorhead covers. They sound awful. I don't think.
Disagree.
I hate their versions of them. But side 1 or disc 1 of this album is an atrocious mess. Other than I do love Whiskey in the Jar. I do love that song.
Okay.
But like Bill already brought up, Turn the Page, awful. I think there's one that's even worse. And I will point out, as I'm holding this booklet in my hand, if Load and Reload didn't kill Metallica, then this picture right here.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And this
I thought
picture
that was
right here
funny though.
certainly killed
Just
Metallica.
don't say Tuesday's gone. Don't say Tuesday's gone. Don't say
Tuesday's gone.
No.
I like that version.
No.
I am a huge Leonard Skinner fan.
They had no business doing that song.
They had no business doing that
I
song.
like that version.
I
So.
love that.
I
And all the
think-
people that are on it. I mean,
I think that it is the worst of James's crooning. I think that it is nowhere. It is one of the most beautiful songs that Ronnie Van Zant ever sang.
And they
I
turned
know.
it to a meaningless song.
And they turned it into, like Bill said about Turn the Page, a meaningless,
But it
overplayed.
was like a jam. It was like a jam.
such a jam session. You
It
know who
was.
else on that?
Oh yeah, no, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
mean, Les Claypool, Jerry Cantrell, Jim Martin, John
Great fucking
Popper.
song. I love it.
Gary,
I think-
Gary's on there. Gary Rossington's in there.
I think it's awesome that they got all those guys. I think they just had no business doing the song. I really don't. I think it's awful. I
Fair
think
enough.
the jam is pretty cool. I think James just sucks any kind of integrity out of that song with his vocals.
Well, Pepper's verse was my favorite part of it. Actually.
Yeah, Pepper sounded pretty good. Pepper sounded good.
James didn't. I didn't think James was that bad on it, but I don't know. That's just me. I like that version a lot.
Me too.
It was a close race between Tuesday's Gone, Turn the Page, and my third least favorite track on disc 1 being the absolute blasphemy of the Merciful Fate medley. That was so bad.
I don't mind that either. I'm just glad you didn't say the Sabracadabra.
I like that better than Merciful Fate.
I think that's the best on that side.
You're right. That was actually pretty good.
Sabracadabra and National Acrobat.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, I mean the first Garage Days is like 1 to 5 completely.
Oh yeah.
But the Weight, Crash Course.
Yeah, Helpless, Small Hours.
Yeah, all those songs.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, you look at disc 2, you got Help, you got the Garage Days 87, Garage Revisited 84, and then the stuff from Justice and the Black Album. So Bread Fan, The Prince, Stone Cold Crazy, So What, Killing Time. So many great tracks. And then they put this disc 1 out, and it's just loaded. I mean, I'm a huge Blue Oyster Cult fan. Their version of Astronomy sucked. Their version of Astronomy was awful. They go back to a lot of bands that they'd covered earlier. So It's Electric and Die Die My Darling, and none of them have that. None of them have that.
But it's got Blitzkrieg back on there and shit, because I had that on the Kill 'Em All Extra edition.
That's disc 2. That's disc 2. I'm talking disc 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Am I Evil?
It's all a lot of the same bands that they covered in the 80s, but it just doesn't have any of that feeling that those 80s covers do.
But their versions of Blitzkrieg and Am I Evil fucking rule.
Well, yeah, that's disc 2. I mentioned disc 2 is pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just saying at the opposite end, they did some good.
Yeah, that's what I said. You
Back-
look at all
back
the
in the early 80s. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
80s. I
Yeah.
know what you're saying though.
Yeah.
Joseph, I disagree on a big I thought Garage Days Inc. was the best thing they did in the 90s. I mean, that was the thing I enjoyed most out of the 90s, even more than the Black Album for me.
Yeah.
For me.
I like the Black Album.
I like the Black Album more.
Me too.
So I'm softened on it with age, but man, I mean, when I was 15 and that thing came out, I was pissed, man. I was pissed.
Yeah.
I played baseball growing up, and when I was
Yeah.
in junior high, all the popular, more preppy kids I played baseball with would call me a dirtbag because I'd wear my Metallica shirts and stuff. And then when we were in high school and the Black Album came out, they're coming up to me at practice and they want to talk about Metallica and they want to know about Master of Puppets and they want to know about Whiplash. And you know what happened to that stuff being dirtball music a few years ago.
Yeah.
Now you saw shitty ass Enter Sandman and you think Metallica's great.
Yeah, I do like that album, but if I never heard it again in my life, I would be all right with that. You know what I mean?
Nothing can save these though. Nothing can save those.
We can't talk about those right now. Can't
I
talk
can.
about
They
Reload.
suck.
We already did Load. Reload is coming up.
Dude,
soon.
we're not exactly giving away spoilers. Everybody knows
No,
about those albums.
no.
They're true Metallica fans. So,
But then we get to your number 3, Andy.
My number 3 has already been talked about. It's going to be the Mick Jagger, David Bowie,
Yeah.
Dancing in the Street. I also don't like the Van Halen version either because I'm not a big Diver Down guy like at all.
I like Diver Down, fucking Big Bad Bill. I love that.
So I
fucking
kind
song.
of
Love
I like the
fucking
Van Halen version.
The Full Bug is one of the best Van Halen
The
songs
Full
of all
Bug, yeah.
time.
Little
God.
guitars.
Little guitars, fucking great shit, dude. That album is so underrated. I love it. My favorite album is Fair Warning. But I get to my number 3. You guys already talked about this. Avril Lavigne, Imagine. Don't cover Beatles unless you're Aerosmith. That's
Or-
it's bad. It's
or
bad.
John
And I, like I said, I have a little bit of respect for Evelyn because she writes her own music and she writes music for other people. So, but we cover that song. Come on, man. You're going into some really.
I mean that song was
deep water
controversial when Lennon sang it. Not to
Yeah.
mention, yeah.
just
and
not
also
cool.
one of my favorite artists, Neil Young, did a cover of Imagine. It's bad. Even I didn't like it.
So Jerry, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is, I think Bill mentioned this band's Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll. I'm going to say their other blasphemous piece of shit cover song they did from the great Kiss, Rock and Roll All Night by fucking Poison.
Right.
It's okay.
Mr.
It's-
Rocket.
All right.
Fucking terrible, dude.
I don't know
It's
if I've
awful.
ever heard that.
Oh,
cover.
they played on Hair Nation all the freaking time.
Oh, and I'm glad I haven't heard it, Jerry. And
Yes, you are.
I
You're
never
very
do.
glad. Yeah, don't ever try. Don't get curious. It's horrible.
Don't.
No, I
Don't
won't.
do it.
It's poison. I'm not going to get curious.
It's like what I would say about the Faith cover by Limp Bizkit. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do
Did
it. to yourself.
Everclear do a version of Kiss
I don't know.
off the,
I don't mind.
off the
Everclear is a good
soundtrack
band.
of the movie? They did a video.
I mean, a ton of. I mean, they did the whole "Kiss My Ass" album. So
This Poison song is on the Less Than Zero soundtrack.
yeah,
Ooh, I love that soundtrack.
That
That's
song is
awesome.
definitely less than a fucking zero. in
Hazy
my
shade
fucking
of
eyes.
Hey, on the opposite end of that, Hazy Shaded Winter by the Bangles was a great cover.
that's a great song.
Yeah.
Slayer's on there
Yeah,
as well. LL Cool J's I'm Going Back to Cali.
That's a great movie too.
on there too. Yeah, the movie's pretty good.
Yeah, Jamie Gertz, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Jamie
Good
Gertz
movie.
fan. Lost Boys. Anything Jamie Gertz did, I loved her.
I love her.
Married herself a billionaire, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So then we get to number 2, Bill.
Yeah, in my last 2, you guys have already done, but my number 2, and it could have easily been my number 1, is Johnny Be Good by Judas Priest. I mean, like I said, Chuck should have flew over to England and bitch slapped Rob. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking. You know, going back to the 70s when Priest covered the Green Manalishi by Peter Green era Fleetwood Mac, it's such a badass cover, beautiful cover. And I mean, and then they turn around and they do this garbage.
Diamonds and Rust from Joe.
Yeah,
Baez.
Diamonds and Rust is a great cover also. Good call out. Yeah. I mean, this is terrible. I don't even know the way he arranged the vocals. Even, I mean, it's terrible. It doesn't even sound anything like what Johnny Johnson and Chuck did. Back.
Good Johnny. It's just
it's awful.
I agree with you.
Awful.
But I do want to say that the Judas Priest version of Green Malarici, and I slaughter it all the time. I think that's the definitive version.
Oh
of
yeah,
me too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man,
The,
that fucking the Peter Green era of Fleetwood Mac is fucking pretty good shit, dude.
Lindsey Buckingham, Lindsey Buckingham
doesn't get enough attention as fucking.
Yeah, I agree. Peter Green was the man. I mean, I think that Peter Green era of Fleetwood Mac is really
even
good.
Bob Welch was good with. I mean, they're all
Lindsey's crack. Lindsey's crack. His guitar playing, his bluegrass playing on that shit, and his voice is cracked to me. He's my favorite Fleetwood Mac
I'm not
member.
saying it's better. Of course, I think the Lindsey area is much better, but still, I'm just saying it doesn't get as much as
Lindsey's a fucking
I'm
genius.
I'm not a big fan of the Goat Woman. Yeah.
I like Christine better too myself than Steve.
Lindsey's my favorite member.
The Unleashed in the East version of Green Manalishi is the best version ever played.
Yes. Shit, I should play that this week on that metal station. But now we get to who's next? Joesph.
That would be me. Someone already mentioned it. I think it was Jerry that brought up the Bono needs more coffee. You two doing Fortunate Son. Oh my God.
Oh,
total lobotomy.
Oh, it sounds awful. They changed the key for no reason. Like they changed the song's in a completely different key, and it makes it sound even lazier. Yeah. The key change is one of the worst parts about it, is because it makes Bono's voice sound even worse. It sounds like they don't even care. And
I need a YouTube
when you're recording a song that has that much emotion behind it, and it's an anti-war song, it's a protest song. When you're recording a song that has that much history and emotion behind it, don't sound like you're thinking about what you're going to have for dinner that night.
Right.
Like, seriously, it's just so bad. And it's every complaint that I have about U2, because it just sounds so pretentious. And it was just basically them saying, well, we're going to do Fortunate Son because we're protesting this. We're doing this. We're whatever. We're standing up for human rights or whatever. And they're such a pretentious band.
They stand up for everybody, dude. Doesn't matter you're left or right. Bono will help everybody he can.
Doesn't mean it doesn't suck.
You guys
doesn't mean it doesn't suck.
You guys can be in a fucking bar. He'll buy you guys
pretentious.
all around, man.
I'm sure
He's
he would.
Cool dude.
I'm sure he would.
Hey, every time he does this, a kid dies. Man.
Hey, that was fake news.
Of course it was fake.
That was debunked.
Was it fake news? Was it fake news when Trey Parker and Matt Stone came out that he was a true life piece of shit?
Yeah.
Yes.
The biggest shit episode.
Biggest shit
in the world. Yeah.
I love Trey Parker and Matt Stone, but they don't like Bono because they don't like the music. But
Dude,
you know what I love them for?
Mark,
they love Rush.
We've had this conversation before. You can say he's a good person, and you can still agree that he's a pretentious douchebag.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is. I think he gets judged because he's a Christian.
No, Mark, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it, Mark.
I think it's a little.
You know where I stand. You know where I stand. I'm Christian
I disagree with you.
That has nothing to do with it.
Bono will help you. You'll help everybody.
I'm sure he
does
would.
shit for me. I could use a couple $100, Bono.
Mark, I'm sure he would, and I'm sure it would be on the front page the next day.
All right, let's stop arguing about this.
Or that it will be filmed.
Or it would be filmed.
So we get to your number 2, Andy.
Yeah, my number 2 is I think it was the number 1 hit this year, actually. And I was on vacation with some friends and we were talking, and my friend said, I really like this version of this song. And I looked at her and I said, are you crazy? And I'm talking about Luke Combs doing Fast Car.
Oh, it's so bad.
Horrible.
Yeah, I love the Tracy Chapman version.
I don't like the original one either.
Yeah, I do.
So
good for her. She won an award for that. 25 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So good for her.
Right.
But the thing is that the way that he sings it takes away all meaning.
It does.
And the storytelling of that whole song because when Tracy sings it, I can see all this going in my head. The
I
the
agree
girl,
with you on that. She does
you
tell
know,
a great story.
she does. You don't like
And
that song?
I don't like her voice.
What?
I
And
think her voice.
I'll
bursts.
tell you what, Andy.
I like
That was
the
that was
lyrics.
the first thing I heard that song for the first time on the radio not long ago. That
Yeah.
was the first thing that came to my mind was his voice just took every meaning out of this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did
Really
like the song where she did like a bluesy thing.
Give me
Yeah,
one
I
reason.
Give me one reason.
Yeah, I like that song. So.
Reason.
Mark, if you get a chance, listen to her and Buddy Guy do a cover of "Ain't No Sunshine."
Mhm.
by
Oh,
Bill
Yeah, I
Withers,
do like
and
One
it's
More Reason when
phenomenal.
it's bluesier. I like her when she's bluesier. I don't like the folky stuff.
I like acoustic work, and I like
Yeah.
folk.
I
music.
like some folk, but it's
I
too
listen to a
deep
lot of
on
folk.
that one. Yeah, but I don't like Robert Cray either. But
Oh, really? Huh.
well, I don't like his albums. I like his guitar playing. I don't like his voice.
Wow.
But then we get to number 2 for you, Joseph.
I already did mine. It's yours.
Yeah, it's
right?
on you, Mark. It's on you.
Oh,
Mark.
it's my turn. We already talked about this Limp Bizkit Scribble. I keep promoting Scribble because he's an awesome dude. Check out his shit on iTunes. So Behind Blue Eyes, Scribble, Limp Bizkit sucks. Get over it. They suck. Everclear is better. I agree with you on that. So we get to your number 1.
Nope, number 2, Jerry.
Number 2, Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah, I was gonna skip this because everybody else picked it, but I can't. It's just so god fucking awful. Johnny Be Good by Judas Priest, man. I mean, I was like, can I fit something else in there?
I
But I'm
should have
like,
picked
nah,
that. You guys are all
It's
right.
just so god fucking awful. It's an
Terrible.
embarrassment. It's one of the best metal bands
Right.
ever. I mean, it
And
really
also
just made
one of
no
the
sense.
best rock and roll songs.
I mean, they throw a bunch of money
Yeah.
their way or something.
Even
I
the
don't
Back
know.
to the Future version was better. And that was sterile.
That whole era of Judas Priest was kind of weird and kind of I don't
Yeah.
know, not good.
Yeah.
But they came out of it though. So
Yep. Painkiller. What an album.
but,
Painkiller was phenomenal. You're right. Yeah.
And in fact, I was just thinking about that because I was listening to Angel Retribution today,
I
going to
love
work,
that album.
and how they can dwarf themselves into sounding like the sound of that moment. And I think that's what happened because that music in the 86, 87, 88, it was bad all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
They were bad.
Yeah.
that new song I heard from Priest kind of sounds like that era. In my
That's I was about to say
Oh,
that might be why that first single from the new album sucks.
Yeah, I agree. It's not very.
It sounds like the music of 2023. I mean,
Yeah.
Rob. I don't think I never thought I'd hear Rob Halford sing the word meme in a song.
I haven't heard it yet, but I'm looking to get
It's
tickets.
bad.
I've never
It's
seen
bad.
them.
Well, I definitely want to see him live. I'm looking forward to it.
They're
But
coming to St. Louis in the spring, and this tickets go on sale Friday. I'm going to try and get
With
some.
Sabaton, right?
yeah,
With
Sabaton.
Sabaton, yeah.
They Judas Priest has they have a new song coming out in exactly 4 minutes here on the East Coast, so I'm excited to hear that. But
okay, cool.
The second
you need to
single,
tell us your opinion of it.
the second single's coming out in about 4 minutes here. So
That's cool. So we get to
This is my turn, huh?
Your
You just went,
turn,
right,
yeah.
Mark?
well, no, you said
No,
Yeah,
I
just
just said
did-
Johnny
yeah.
Be Good. We're on
Bill's
number
number
one.
Johnny
one.
Be Good.
Bill's
So-
number one.
And
so we get to number 1, Bill.
and I think it was you, Jerry, that did this one already. But going back to Britney Spears and "Can't Get No Satisfaction" cover of the Rolling Stones. I mean,
That was me.
just
That was Mark.
terrible. Oh, you did?
Yeah,
oh,
I did.
Which one? You did Britney Spears too, Jerry. Which?
No, I didn't do any
No,
Britney
I-
Spears.
Oh,
I
Andy, you
did-
did
Andy
one.
did.
Yeah,
I
okay.
did.
I knew there were two
Yeah.
different Britney Spears songs.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and she did another terrible one. She did "I Love Rock and Roll" by Joan Jett.
She did.
Oh,
You're right.
Bad.
Yeah.
The video is really
She
cool
did.
though. If you get a chance to check it out, just make sure you mute it. But man, what a terrible version of the
Yeah,
Stones.
it is.
I mean, one of you guys said "Stay in your lane." Whenever
Yeah.
That was me. That was me.
Yeah, terrible.
I guess Charles is
There
right.
are-
Nobody
there are-
listens to me.
There are some of those pop artists that can sing fucking rock.
And
Like Miley Cyrus can sing pretty
Mhm.
good rock.
Mhm.
Yeah,
She
Um,
can, but
Gaga.
she can't.
Yeah.
that country girl, what's her name? Fucking does amazing job with Guns N' Roses.
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie
Underwood, man. The fucking she's actually doing a lot of rock and roll stuff.
Oh yeah, she has a great voice.
Yeah,
great voice.
So
Martina
great-
McBride's pretty good.
great
too.
legs, great legs
Yeah.
too, man.
Mhm.
Oof.
I like Martina McBride. I saw her live. She did Journey.
Another
Pretty damn good.
beautiful woman, man. She's hot
Mhm.
too, man. Those eyes.
All right, so we get to number one. Who just
Yep,
did it? Bill, right?
It's
Joe
me.
Walker.
Joesph.
Alrighty. So I will forever hate you, Mark, for having to make me listen to this one particular track that came up in my search for the worst cover songs. I don't know what's worse, the fact that this song existed, that it became a hit, or the fact that 3 of the original band members praised the song. And that is the Scissor Sisters doing Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd.
Ooh.
Oh my God. If anyone ever thought that Comfortably Numb should be a disco song with a horrible mock Barry Gibb impression, it's
I've never heard that. I want to have
Jerry,
to listen to that.
Jerry,
now.
don't listen to it. Jerry, I'm telling you, don't listen to it.
I
I know how much of a Pink Floyd fan you are. Do not listen to it.
Did you listen to Queen's Rice cover? Of Pink Floyd?
Roger Waters, I think Nick Mason, and David Gilmour all said that they loved it.
Yeah.
Some good fucking
Wow.
weed, I guess. I don't know.
I was
Oh,
at
wow. That's the shocker.
It is truly the worst song I've ever heard in my life.
All right, Andy.
Worse than 911 is a joke by Duran
Yes.
Duran?
Yes.
I definitely don't want to hear it then.
Well,
Andy, you're number one.
When I was going through this list, I don't know why this song was on another list we talked about. I don't know what the topic was. It must have been the worst of something. Because once again, Madonna does a cover of a song that is so fucking long, and you would think the song would fucking end. When she did American Pie,
Oh, that was horrible.
that
Oh.
was the worst thing I've ever heard, and I still want to hear it just so I can laugh at it. It is so bad. I love American Pie by Tom McLean. It's one of my favorite songs. I think it's beautiful.
That's why I said watch
It
that
is.
Celine Dion, which shook me all night long.
But that Madonna version is just so horrible. It just, once again, these people, it's fine to do covers. There's a lot of covers that I love. But when you just do it just to do it and don't care about the song at all, just don't, you know? So that's my number one, Madonna, American Pie.
Okay, I'm happy nobody picked my number one yet. I hope nobody does, because when this first came out, I go, what the fuck is this? I was waiting for a new fucking Police album, but you gave me this pile of shit covering your own fucking song. Don't stand so close to me. You fucking ruined your own fucking song.
That doesn't count.
It
That
does.
doesn't
They
count.
covered their own song.
Mark, you're cheating.
No, they covered.
Mark, you're cheating. You
They
cannot
covered their
Can't
own
rearrange.
song.
Yeah.
No, you cannot count a rearrangement of
No,
a
they
song.
rearranged.
It's
it.
horrible.
Mark, you cannot count that as your
But-
number one.
I could do what I want. We break the rules on the show. Everybody else does. Why can't I? That song horrified me. It has to be the worst cover song of all time. It's because Stuart Copeland broke his arm and they were supposed to make a new album. So they just did a cover of this with electronic drums
And then broke up.
and then broke up again. Yes. Horrible. That's my number one. Jerry, what's your number one, brother?
Oh, I'm definitely cheating on this one, Joe. Sorry, man. because
That
yes.
was a remake.
he's covering his own shit. I'm talking about the whole fucking album. It's that bad. And you just mentioned Pink Floyd being one of my favorite bands.
Oh, I know exactly where.
But if
Jerry-
you fucking heard Roger Waters' new version of The Dark Side of the Moon,
see, I will count that. I will count that
Why?
because it is actually covering because it is not the album. It's not even.
it's like he's narrating a children's book or something all the way through. It's boring. It's a shame.
It's not even an album. It's not even an album.
Yeah. The guy puts on a fucking incredible show. Don't get me wrong, but everything he's done post
except the one where he read for the first hour
is yeah. But man, I cannot stand. This is a joke. I mean, I know Gilmore, right? Gilmore and fucking Nick Mason are just fucking sitting there laughing at that, man. I mean, it's just terrible. It's his music. He can do what he wants with it. I get it.
Nick Mason loves it.
Did he really? I didn't hear his opinions on it. I'm sure David I'm sure David loves it too, but
no, David doesn't like it. Nick Mason loves it.
I don't know what prompted him to do that, because it was a horrible idea. Yeah, I mean, it was a terrible idea.
I never wanted to listen to it. I haven't. I won't.
One of the greatest albums of all time, and
not going to ruin my memory of that album.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that was.
You listened to it, Jerry?
Yeah, of course I'm going to listen to it.
Why?
I kept hoping for it to change tempo or something.
Yeah.
Everybody said it was a pile of shit.
Song. Terrible, man.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
You don't want to,
awful.
man.
I don't want to.
But then there's nothing that from Roger Waters that I heard. His solo stuff, there's nothing there that really hurts.
I like Radio Chaos because Jim Ladd's on there.
It's all right. It's not great. David Gilmour's albums are much better.
But Jim Ladd's on there.
Yeah, speaking of Jim Ladd, did you know that they moved Deep Tracks out of the XM radio? You got to put it on your phone now.
Yeah, it's on the app only.
I only have the app, so because I don't. Real? Yeah, I have the app, and I connect my phone into my Toyota. It has a screen, so I could punch.
Right. Well, yeah, everybody has that.
Yeah, my wife has the. She has the Signal. I have the app. So
yeah, that's the same thing. My wife has the Signal, and I have the app.
Yeah, same thing.
That's kind of that they took it off of regular radio.
That's weird. So that was our 11 worst cover songs, man. So, man, Jerry, man, any final words, man?
I know this is a pretty interesting list. A lot of shitty stuff that we covered tonight. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
All right, Joesph, man.
Buy the Beatles. Buy the Beatles. Buy the Beatles.
Charles Trainer, look at that, man. I bet you're like,
they need more money, so buy them. They're kind of broke, so
they're kind of broke. Paul McCartney needs to buy a fifth house.
Won't Michael Jackson get all the money?
No, they bought it back.
No, bought it back. Yeah, I knew that. No, I knew that.
That was fucked up what Michael did to Paul.
Of course it was.
Well,
Paul gave him the advice, man.
Yeah,
he took his advice.
Blame Yoko because Yoko's the one that talked Paul McCartney out of taking the first bid for it.
Oh, fuck Yoko.
Paul was going to pay the $20 million. The record, the publishing company offered Paul first dibs on it. He said that he didn't want to buy it unless Yoko approved of it because he wanted John's legacy to be on it as well. And she said, "Don't take the first bid. We can talk him down." Michael came in the next day and bought it. Michael came in the next day and bought it.
Yeah. And Paul said, "Buy music."
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fucked up. But Joesph, man, any final words?
I already
man?
said mine. Beatles.
Beatles, yeah.
Sorry, I'm tired. Bill, final thoughts, man?
Yeah, I just had a couple of honorable mentions I wanted to throw off.
Go for it.
From that were pretty shitty that we didn't. We talked about some of them, but how about The Cure with Purple Haze?
Oh,
you haven't heard that? It's fucking.
Are you
terrible.
shitting me? That band did that song as a cover.
Yeah, and
I love The Cure, but I don't want to hear that.
The 80s did out. There's not a guitar solo on it or anything. It's
all keyboard.
Awful.
And they have a great guitarist.
How about REM doing Toys in the Attic?
I like that version.
No,
I like that.
No,
I've never heard that either.
It's
terrible.
It's a great fucking B-sides album.
This is one I used to listen to when I was a teenager or junior high age, probably freshman high school, because I had this album. But MC Hammer did a cover of the Shy Lights from the 70s, which is a pretty good R&B song. Yeah. Have you seen her? And man, fuck it up. He just talks through it. Yeah. Oh, it's God.
I bet Bushy is disagreeing with you right now.
That was on my list. And then
the Shy Lights version is awesome. Oh, the Shy Lights version. Really good.
Yeah, and then a band called Spine Shank did they did a metal version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps,
Ooh.
which is awful. I mean, Eric Clapton is up there for me, and then of course the Beatles. So when you get Clapton and the Beatles together, that's one of my all-time favorite songs, and you can't fuck that song up. So that one was bad. And then back to to Floyd, how about Korn's version of Another Brick in the Wall?
Oh,
I mean,
I love it.
From
I love
that
it.
move. It was from a movie, wasn't it? That high school movie or whatever.
I'm not sure.
Like it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
It was on their greatest hits album. That's all that I know.
I
I'm
did not
surprised
like.
none of you guys picked that
Oh, you
Queensryche
love that
Take
cover of
cover album.
It was all right.
I loved the Korn version of Another Brick in the
Really?
Wall.
I couldn't
No,
stand it.
I'm not a fan. And then I got one more. Danzig doing
Danzig.
Elvis.
Oh.
Danzig does Elvis.
Baby, Let's Play House by Elvis, covered by Glenn Danzig.
Can't stand that fucking
terrible.
I hate
Terrible.
Danzig.
I hate Glenn Danzig so much. And then
I'm with you.
We
try
all
and
agree on
actually
that,
cover
don't we?
Elvis.
Do you like
Yeah,
Danzig?
I love Danzig.
You like Danzig?
Oh,
The first four Danzig
Wow.
albums.
yeah,
All right, Andy, final thoughts, man.
Final thoughts. This was a great show. I really had a good time. Bill, it was very nice to do a show with you. Joesph,
Thank you.
as usual. Blackspinner Circle. I didn't do a show yesterday. I'm off. Next Wednesday, I'm going to finish off the year strong, and then I'm adding a co-host in 2024, and that co-host is Al Horta. He agreed to be my co-host of Blackspinner from now on. So we're going to start doing that in 2024 and see where that takes us.
Cool.
That's the news of that.
It's always good to have a co-host, man.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a couple of years, so it'd be nice to.
You've done quite well.
I figured out with doing freeform that I needed a co-host. I need to bounce out people. I can't talk to myself. I'm not good at that.
Oh well, no, I've been having guests and I love it.
I know,
but it comes down to having more content and having someone that knows almost everything. So,
that's why I got Jerry and Charles, man. They know everything.
Yeah. So,
man, but
we're excited about that and see where that goes. We're gonna share topics. I'll do one, and then he'll do one, and that's what we have planned.
All right, cool. Jerry, what are we doing next Wednesday? Because next Thursday is Thanksgiving.
We're gonna do the best albums of 1984.
Ooh.
All albums, metal, pop, whatever you want to put on the list is cool with us. I glazed through the list. There's some good ones on there, so it's gonna be
that's a good year.
Yeah, good year. Yeah. So anybody want to be on, just PM Mark. I'm sure he'll get you on. Those are always fun shows to do. The best of the years. Those are some of our best shows, I think.
And we're doing it on Wednesday and not Thanksgiving, so it's before the holiday. So if any of you guys are off, just PM us in the group. Bill, if you want to be on it, let us know.
I got something going on that night, unfortunately.
That's
so my old high school has a Hall of Fame induction that night, a Sports Hall of Fame, and I've been kind of involved with that, so I always go to that. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just
that night.
Just likes, share, and subscribe, and also give a thumbs up to the video, man. Until next week, man. Jerry, take us out, man.
Until next week, man. Thank you guys for being on, man. It's always fun doing this show. Great freaking guests, man. Love you guys. Y'all have a good night. If we don't hear from you before Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with your family, and buy physical media.
Later, guys.
Take care.